The story begins and we see Tian continent's heavenly spiritual domain, Dongshin Kingdom. And today is the heavenly demonic sect's Empress wedding day. And the ceremony is about to start in some time. So everyone starts going inside the palace, and a lot of people gather inside the palace to see the wedding. And at this place comes a man, that is, Lin Xiaoyao. Its cultivation, Earth King realm. And its identity, Dongshin Kingdom's prince. And a servant is welcoming him, and he is saying, "Third prince, please take a seat at the VIP table." And as soon as the third prince goes inside the hall, people start talking after seeing him, and they all say, "That's Lin Xiaoyao, the third prince of the kingdom? He's so talented. I heard he is already a master of the Earth King realm at such a young age." And the other man says, compared to the Empress Immortal Emperor realm, it's still far behind. And the first man gets surprised and he says, "That's still better than Ning Tian, the loser who has been working here for 3 years and it's still a 1-star warrior. I can't figure out why the Empress who has both beauty and power could choose him as her husband." And the other man says nervously, "Keep your voice down, you dare criticize the Empress husband, do you want to die?" On the other hand, the heavenly demonic sect Empress residence. A groom, who is very sad, and is going to get married soon. And this is the main character of this manhwa. And his name is Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is saying, "I have never thought that I, Ning Tian, would turn into a time traveler one day, and to travel to a cultivation world. But why am I still a 1-star warrior after working as a handyman for the sect for 3 years? Isn't that a complete waste? A loser like me is actually going to marry the Empress of the sect today. The outfit is quite stylish. Isn't that messed up?" Then someone knocks on the door, then she opens the door and comes inside. And a very beautiful girl comes to this place, who is Luo Wuqing. And Ning Tian is going to get married to this girl, I mean Luo Wuqing. And this girl asks Ning Tian, "Have you woken up?" And it's cultivation, immortal emperor realm, and identity, empress of the heavenly demonic sect. And Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, "Then I will get straight to it. You have to understand that this wedding is just for show." And Ning Tian gets shocked after hearing this from Luo Wuqing. And Luo Wuqing further says, "If you dare have any dirty thoughts about me, don't blame me for being cruel." And hearing this, Ning Tian starts thinking, "Are you kidding me? I'm so miserable and even my marriage is a lie." And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system. And Ning Tian's system has now been activated. And Ning Tian's system is a shocking system. And Ning Tian lowers his head, and he is thinking, "Great, with the system I can get rid of this horrible status and change my destiny." System, explain to me how to use you. System, don't act dead and reply, okay? System. But the system is not giving any reply to Ning Tian, due to which Ning Tian gets worried. And Luo Wuqing is asking Ning Tian, "I will ask you again, did you hear me?" And Ning Tian shouts to Luo Wuqing and says, "Shut up, I am busy here." And as soon as Luo Wuqing hears this, Ning Tian is shouting at her. So Luo Wuqing gets very angry, and she releases her power. And a lot of spiritual energy is coming out from his body, seeing which Ning Tian gets scared. And he starts thinking, "I am finished. I was so into it that I forgot she was here. If this woman wants to strangle me, it would be as easy as stepping on an ant." And Ning Tian is very nervous and is about to say something to Luo Wuqing. But then Ning Tian again hears the voice of the system, and the system says congratulations to Ning Tian and tells Ning Tian, "Congratulations to the host for completing your first shock. Your reward is an aura suppression skill." Aura suppression. Suppress the opponent, no aura can be used for 3 hours. And seeing the system notification, Ning Tian is thinking, so this is how it works. Is this the reward for scolding her? Let's stay calm, we have a huge status gap, yet she wants to have a fake marriage with me. There must be something that she wants from me, so this woman would not kill me that easily before getting what she wants. I can definitely take advantage of this time to get more rewards. Then Ning Tian stands up and goes closer to Luo Wuqing. And placing his hand on her face then tells her, "I said I'm yours husband, do you have any objections to me talking to you like this?" And as soon as Ning Tian does this, Ning Tian gets a notification by the system. Congratulations to the host for completing an ordinary shock. Yours the reward is a Qi blood pill. Qi blood pill adjusts the meridians and restores the physique. And seeing this notification, Ning Tian thinks, it's exactly as I thought. I have to strike the iron while it's hot. Then Ning Tian says to Luo Wuqing, since we're husband and wife, shouldn't we do what couples do? And on hearing this from Ning Tian, Luo Wuqing gets more angry. Then she says, what did you say? And due to Luo Wuqing's anger, Ning Tian gets a notification from a system, congratulating the host for completing an intermediate shock. Qi blood pill was taken automatically, meridians repaired. Awakening of God rank, 10-fold cultivation. Currently absorbing 10 times the spiritual energy per second. Martial arts understanding increased by 10-fold. Cultivation skill progress speeds up by 10-fold, and Ning Tian's power is increasing very fast, and Ning Tian is thinking, so cool. I don't have to be trashed anymore. And Ning Tian is feeling the power increasing inside him. But then Luo Wuqing moves forward to attack Ning Tian, and she attacks Ning Tian, due to which Ning Tian gets hurt. And Luo Wuqing again moves to attack Ning Tian, and Luo Wuqing sits on Ning Tian, and Luo Wuqing is saying, tell me, how do you want to die? And Ning Tian is thinking, it looks like she will really do it. And Ning Tian says to the system, activate aura suppression. And as soon as Ning Tian uses the aura suppression skill, energy starts coming out from inside Ning Tian. And that energy starts suppressing Luo Wuqing's aura. And Luo Wuqing starts feeling that her aura is being suppressed, due to which Luo Wuqing's energy reduces. And she starts feeling weak, and starts falling down. And Ning Tian is watching all this, and Luo Wuqing falls on Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is thinking, I almost died. Fortunately, the rewards given by the system worked. We only have 3 hours. Even if I run, I won't be able to get far. When the time comes, I will die for sure. I have to fight. Then Ning Tian puts Luo Wuqing down, and Ning Tian comes on top of her. And Ning Tian holds Luo Wuqing tightly. And Luo Wuqing is unable to understand what Ning Tian wants to do with her. And Luo Wuqing is getting very angry, but she cannot do anything right now, because her aura has been suppressed by Ning Tian's skill. And Ning Tian is thinking while looking at Luo Wuqing, at least I could find some pleasure while being in danger. Let me give you another great shock. And Ning Tian takes off his clothes and throws them away, seeing which Luo Wuqing gets shocked. And because of this, Ning Tian again gets a notification from the system, you have shocked the Empress of the Heavenly Demonic Sect. And Luo Wuqing is getting angry, and she is also feeling pain. And the system sees many notifications to Ning Tian, but this thing has no meaning right now. Because a very exciting match is going on right now. And after 3 hours, Ning Tian has full fun with Luo Wuqing for 3 hours. And now he is standing near the window drinking tea, and he is saying, what is done, it's too late to kill me now, it won't help you. I am still useful to you anyways, right? And Luo Wuqing is lying on the bed, and she is wearing a bedsheet to cover her body. And she's thinking, I have to be patient. If I kill him now, I won't get the Heavenly Demonic Manual. There will be no way for the sect to rise again. Then Luo Wuqing starts getting up from the bed and wears her clothes, and she says to Ning Tian, come to the palace in the evening and the wedding ceremony will be held. And Ning Tian is shocked, and Luo Wuqing starts leaving this place now. And seeing him leaving, Ning Tian takes a sigh of relief and says, Sure. Enough, I am still useful to her. I'm really crazy to dare treat her like this. And then Ning Tian gets another notification from the system. Congratulations to the host completion of shocking the whole world. Your reward is 10 years of cultivation. And Ning Tian gets surprised after knowing this notification, and then a lot of energy starts going inside Ning Tian. And the system is telling Ning Tian, the host breaks through to the 2-star warrior realm. The host breaks through to the 3-star warrior realm. The host breaks through to the 4-star warrior realm. And Ning Tian's cultivation increases. And Ning Tian is thinking, a cultivation level that would take decades to achieve was actually achieved in a flash. My realm is increasing. And after an hour, the system tells Ning Tian, the host breaks through to the 6-star Black Warrior realm. The attribute panel has been activated. The host can view his attributes in the panel. And hearing this, Ning Tian is smiling and he is saying, my promotion is finally over. And the system panel appears in front of Ning Tian. Host Ning Tian. Strength, 6-star Black Warrior. Physique, godly physique. Skills, none. Cultivation methods, 10-fold cultivation. Martial arts comprehension, 10-fold comprehension. Aura absorption, 10-fold absorption. And Ning Tian starts gathering energy within himself. Then Ning Tian asks the system, godly physique? Explain that one, system. But the system does not give any reply to Ning Tian. And Ning Tian again calls the system and Ning Tian does not get any reply back. Then Ning Tian says, forget it if you won't answer. Anyways, now I have the means to counterattack in this world. No matter how useless I was become, I'm not going to be like that now. And Ning Tian is happy seeing the spiritual energy. And now Ning Tian starts leaving this place. And he is saying, so what if my wife is an empress? One day I will show them all. I, Ning Tian, am also capable and strong enough to stand on top of the world. After this, evening, the heavenly demonic palace. Now Luo Wuqing has come inside the hall, and seeing Luo Wuqing, everyone is saying, here is the 8th generation leader of the heavenly demonic sect. Empress Luo Wuqing. Wow! Is this the pressure of a person in the immortal emperor realm? My legs are shaking. She is worthy of being an empress, she has both beauty and power. And looking at Luo Wuqing, the third prince is thinking, the empress is indeed worthy of her reputation, but it is a pity she is to be married to that person. And the man next to him says to the third prince, I heard that the prince was secretly admiring the empress for a long time. In my opinion, only you, the dignified third prince, is worthy of her. His name Kuang Shou literally means a wild beast. And Kuang Shou further says, if I were you, I would definitely not accept watching the empress marry that loser. And the third prince is getting angry after listening to Kuang Shou's words. Then he drinks the wine, then he says, how can I easily interfere in her affairs? And the third prince is thinking, but I really want to see what this loser who dares marry her looks like. After this, an old man says, the empress has arrived, now let's welcome the husband, Ning Tian. A man is speaking about Ning Tian. I heard the chosen husband is a low-level disciple of the sect. And the other man speaks about Ning Tian. His cultivation level seems to be only a 1-star warrior. And the third man says, and apart from his looks, he has nothing else. And the old man is saying that he should come to this place quickly. And everyone starts talking, why has Ning Tian not come yet? Seriously, he's such a loser, he dares to be late for the ceremony? But then Ning Tian comes running to this place. And after coming inside, Ning Tian says, no one told me this place would be tens of thousands of meters away from where I live. I ran like crazy. And Ning Tian is thinking, fortunately, my cultivation has improved a lot. If it was still the same, I wouldn't be able to reach the palace even if I ran for a day. Then Ning Tian apologizes to all of them. Then he says, sorry for being late. This is my first time getting married, so I have no experience, please forgive me. And as soon as everyone hears Ning Tian's words, they all get shocked. And those people are thinking, please forgive me for getting married for the first time? This guy is so rude? I heard this guy is a handyman of the sect, so he really doesn't have any manners. And the third prince gets very angry after listening to Ning Tian's words, and the third prince shouts at Ning Tian and says, so reckless. You have made the empress wait for a long time in vain, and you dare give us that excuse? Then Ning Tian looks back, and replies to the third prince, are you sick? What are you shouting about during our wedding? Don't delay us any longer, or we don't be able to go on with our wedding festivities again. And everyone gets shocked by Ning Tian's answer, and they are saying, this guy still wants to be with her. Damn it, what a pity the empress has to be married to such a loser. That can't be true. I heard the empress doesn't approach men. This guy is so unrefined. Isn't he mad? Damn it. I feel a little envious of him. The system is giving many notifications to Ning Tian. You have shocked the third prince. You have shocked the holy maid of Tianqi. You have shocked the holy lord of light. You have shocked the leader of the Guangzhou sect. To the shock of many powerful people, Ning Tian acquires a new skill, and the system tells Ning Tian, "Congratulations to the host for completing the shock of everyone present. You have obtained the Earth-level martial arts skill Heavenly Demonic Palm. Comprehension of martial arts is being increased by tenfold. Heavenly Demonic Palm comprehension complete. The skill has been acquired." Ning Tian has shocked many people, and Ning Tian is feeling happy, and he is thinking, sure enough, this wedding venue is a huge treasure trove. Even the Heavenly Demonic Palm was learned instantly. But the third prince is getting very angry, and he is thinking, why him? Is he more handsome than me? In terms of power, I can definitely crush him. I am the third prince of Dongxing. And third prince hits the table, and is getting very angry, and he is thinking, can I compare to an ant like a handyman? Then the third prince shouts to Ning Tian, you stop. Right there. I want to uphold the dignity of the Empress and challenge you to a duel. Do you assert? And as soon as everyone listens to third prince's words, they become more shocked. And a man is speaking in terms of power. The third prince is the most outstanding of the younger generation. He might be unwilling. And a woman says, also, who would think the Empress would choose someone so different from her? And the man says, an Earth King cultivator will crush a one-star warrior, hee. And the third prince points a finger towards Ning Tian, and says to Ning Tian, I won't bully you, loser. I can use only half of my power. If you are a man, accept the challenge. And Luo Wuqing is watching their fight, but he does not say anything. And at the same time, Guangzhou is very happy. It seems that Guangzhou's plan from the beginning was to create a mess in this wedding ceremony. And the third prince is smiling and thinking, even with half of his power, he will defeat this trash easily. As long as he agrees, I can use this to show off in front of the Empress. And some people are saying, this is the third prince. Even if he uses half of his power, he is still far superior to the average person. And the other man says happily, there will be a good show. And Ning Tian accepts the third prince's challenge. And Ning Tian is thinking, I can use this guy to shock the strong people here. And the third prince is saying, you don't seem to want to live. Even if I use half of my power, it's still enough to crush you. Let me see how virtuous you are to be worthy of her. And the third prince starts releasing energy. And after listening to the third prince, people around are saying, what the prince? It makes sense. The Empress should be with someone powerful like the prince. And Ning Tian comes in front of the third prince, and Ning Tian is smiling, and he is thinking, since you are looking for a fight, you can't blame me for this. Then Ning Tian says to the third prince, you are a guest from far away, so go first. But the third prince says, humph. If I made the first move, I would be laughed at by everyone. I'd better let you go first, loser. And the third prince is smiling after saying this. And Ning Tian is thinking, that's what I was waiting for. And Ning Tian says, then I will. And Ning Tian starts gathering energy in his hands, seeing which the third prince says, the stance is bad. And so is your aura. This move of yours. It's so laughable. And everyone is watching Ning Tian, and two of them are leaders. First man who is a heavenly demonic sect great elder. And the other man, the heavenly demonic sect second elder. And both of them are surprised when they listen to his words. And the first leader says, it's a pity the majesty of the sect that has been established over the years will be thrown away by that trash. Then the second leader says, this little handyman is so unstable, he fell into the trap of provocation in a few words. Why isn't the Empress taking action? This makes me so anxious. And Ning Tian creates a dragon from his aura. Then Ning Tian says, my palm skill is really not that great. And quickly moves towards the third prince to attack him. And seeing Ning Tian's attack, the third prince is not bothered and is saying, ha! A bluff. It's not even a fart. With your level, the skill you can produce is not even. And Ning Tian attacks the third prince. And the name of Ning Tian's attack is Heavenly Demonic Palm. And as soon as Ning Tian's attack reaches the third prince, the power of the attack is very high, seeing which third prince gets shocked, and both the leaders also get shocked. And the first leader is saying, This is the heavenly demonic palm. And the second leader says he has this kind of skill. Seeing Ning Tian's attack, the third prince is thinking, he is only a warrior. How can he master an earth-level skill? I must remove the seal. And as soon as the third prince tries to remove his seal, it doesn't work. And the third prince gets even more shocked after knowing this. And the third prince wonders who is suppressing his aura. Then he looks at Luo Wuqing, then he says, It's the Empress who is suppressing me. And Luo Wuqing is suppressing the third prince's aura with the help of her power. Due to which third prince is locked with chains. And due to which the third prince gets hit by Ning Tian's attack, and he goes away and hits a pillar. And the third prince gets really hurt, and he thinks he is just trash, a handyman. Why can he defeat me? There is an uproar in the entire palace due to the third prince's defeat. And everyone is very shocked at how Ning Tian has defeated the third prince. And those people are saying, this loser actually. What just happened? The prince actually lost? It looked like this piece of trash used the heavenly demonic palm. That is a martial arts skill of the heavenly demonic sect. How can this be? How did he learn it? The first leader and the second leader are extremely shocked, and the first leader says this. How can this be? And the second leader says this kid actually won? He didn't embarrass us? And Luo Wuqing is shocked to see Ning Tian's power, and she is thinking, he actually is the key to the heavenly demonic manual? And in the afternoon, he dared to, could it have been him who caused my aura to disappear back then? Then Ning Tian gets many notifications from the system, you have shocked the Empress. Series of shocks completed. The elders of the heavenly demonic sect have a consecutive shock. The Holy Son of Heaven's vault has been shocked. You have completed 3 consecutive shocks. And Ning Tian is thinking, haha. This is the effect I wanted. Then the system tells Ning Tian, you shocked the whole audience. Group destruction completed. And the system also gives a reward to Ning Tian, and the system says, the host got the shocking achievement, shocking the whole audience. Your reward is a charming physique. Ning Tian becomes happy after seeing the rewards of the system. Then the system tells, charming physique, infinite charm. It allows the host to charm everyone effortlessly. And Ning Tian activates a charming physique, due to which all the girls are looking at Ning Tian. And they all start talking about Ning Tian. Suddenly he looks so handsome. My heart is beating fast. The skill of charming physique works on girls. And also charming physique works on men. And all the men are saying, ah, my heart is melting. Is this brother in need of a male cultivation partner? I love him so much, I really want him. Damn it, what is going on? And after listening to those people, Ning Tian himself gets shocked, and Ning Tian starts thinking, system, what are you doing? Now is my wedding, and Luo Wuqing is still watching from above. Then Ning Tian starts looking at Luo Wuqing and says, why is she not responding? Could it be that my charm doesn't affect her? Then the third prince says to Ning Tian, why, didn't everyone say you were trash? And hearing the third prince's words, Ning Tian starts smiling, then answers him, I am, indeed trash. Hearing this kind of answer from Ning Tian, more people get shocked and they start saying, what does he do? Mean, he thinks he is trash? Did this guy go crazy? Then Ning Tian gives a speech to all of them. As a cultivator, you can't expect to achieve instant success if that's not trash. Then what is it? Hearing Ning Tian's words, everyone becomes more shocked and starts saying, how difficult is it to reach the top in one step? How many people have been able to do this by now? And the other man says, according to you, we, the holy sons and princesses, are useless? And Ning Tian further says how vast the world is, and how small people are. There must be people in this world who are so strong they can sky into the sky, escape from the earth, move mountains and seas and turn over clouds and rain. They can do anything. I would rather be able to recognize my place. But you are so arrogant with your small achievements. In my opinion, you are just self-proclaimed geniuses. And hearing this, The third prince gets very angry. And also the number of people there. All of them start bleeding from their mouths. When they all listen to Ning Tian. Then those people are saying, as long as you can't reach the sky in one step, you're useless. What a ruthless method! And the second leader says, the holy sons and princess are usually treated as geniuses. One word from this boy will break their hearts. They will get furious. He is just a small handyman. Why does he have the grace of a saint? Everyone is shocked to hear Ning Tian's words. And for a while there is silence at this place. After this the first leader says to Ning Tian, where did you learn the poem from? And the first leader is thinking, if he continues to talk, I am afraid the Tao hearts of the holy sons and princess will shatter. And Ning Tian tells the first leader, the Buddhist scripture pavilion. And Ning Tian is thinking, I can't tell them about the system. After listening to Ning Tian, the first leader says, the pavilion is indeed the sects. So how long did it take you to master it? And Ning Tian is about to say something but he stops. And first leaders are thinking that it would have taken at least a year to learn this skill. And he gets shocked thinking this. Because it takes at least several years to master it. But Ning Tian is thinking, if I say 1 minute, it would be too much. I'd better say a longer period. Then Ning Tian says to the first leader, a day, 1 day. All in 1 day. And hearing this, all the people inside the palace get shocked. Those people do not believe that anyone can learn that technique in 1 day. And a man is saying, no way, absolutely impossible. And Ning Tian is surprised to see the reaction of all of them, and he thinks, is it such a surprise? I even made it more than 1,000 times longer than it really is. And the leader while going to Ning Tian says to Ning Tian, it is very hard to practice this skill. Ordinary people may not be able to practice it successfully even after a whole lifetime. Even the very talented Empress took 3 days, and you actually. Our sect finally has a disciple who is talented enough to rival the Empress. And a man is saying, just a second ago, he said he could not reach the sky in 1 step, and didn't dare call himself a genius. But he has mastered a very hard skill in 1 day. And the other man says, he is simply a genius among geniuses. And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, you have shocked the elders of the heavenly demonic sect, you are rewarded with 1,000 aura cultivation. And seeing that notification Ning Tian is happy and he is thinking, a large amount of aura entered my body. And the first leader hugs Ning Tian while crying. And cryingly says to Ning Tian, these are just minor things, the major one can't be delayed. Then the first leader looks back and says, what are you doing? Then the man understands what the first leader said, and now the marriage begins. And now musical instruments also start playing, and everyone is very happy. And they all praise Ning Tian and Empress, and a man says to Ning Tian, a handsome man and a pretty woman, a match made in heaven. And Ning Tian is thinking after listening to her words, oh, I was trash just now, but now we're a perfect match? Then now the wedding starts, and Ning Tian is thinking, it seems like no matter which world I am in, respecting the strong is true everywhere. And Luo Wuqing is thinking while looking at Ning Tian, I hope everything will. Just like the demon statue said, if I marry him, I can get the manual. A few months ago, the heavenly demonic sect back mountain forbidden region, evening. Forbidden land. Luo Wuqing is going through a tunnel, and there is a demon statue in front of her, and Luo Wuqing is saying in front of the demon statue, if I marry this loser, you will give me the manual as promised. In half a year, the 5 emperors, 3 lords and 2 emperors will come beside our sect. Only by reaching the god realm can I be strong enough to fight them. If I want to break through, I must first have the path to becoming a god. It is said this can be obtained by practicing the manual. Thousands of years ago, by the sect's canon law, for the leader to obtain the manual, they had to marry someone with the godly physique. Even if he is a loser who can't cultivate, I will still marry him. I won't let the sect collapse. Ning Tian and Luo Wuqing get married now, but people around are still talking about Ning Tian. The Empress is so insightful. That's right. I have been a fool. The more you look at him, the husband becomes more and more distinguished. In a few years, our sect will give birth to another powerful Emperor Realm cultivator. With his talent, he is definitely worthy of the Empress. Then we see Kuang Shou, who is thinking something, and he is saying, without further ado, I will report this to the Alliance leader. After this the scene shifts and we see Heavenly Spiritual Realm write out Alliance. And a man is drinking tea, and he's saying, Elders, the demon domain is going on a rampage these days, and the demons are left by that heavenly demonic sect. And 3 people are sitting at this place, and one of them says, about the female demon Luo Wuqing's beheading, how are the plans going? And this old man's name is Emperor Ning Tian. And its cultivation, immortal Emperor Realm. Its identity, leader of the Righteous Alliance. And we see 2 elders, and the first elder's name is Elder Xiu of Jianmei. And its cultivation, Celestial Realm. And its identity, Elder of Jianmei. And the name of the second elder is Elder Tianfeng. And its cultivation, Celestial Realm. And its identity, Elder of Heqi. The first elder is saying, everything is ready, we are just waiting for yours order. Elder Xiu of Jianmei cultivation, the female demon won't know what kind of drug is in the gourd, and the second elder says, she suddenly got married to a good-for-nothing handyman, so there is a lot of excitement in them sect today. Then the old man takes out the spiritual item, the psychic gem, and says, I have also heard about this, Kuang Shou also just contacted me, let's listen together. And because of the psychic gem, Kuang Shou is talking to the old man, and Kuang Shou is telling the old man, Leader, something huge happened. And the old man says, you are also a sect master, why are you so panicked? And Kuang Shou tells them, Luo Wuqing deceived us all. The person she married is not a piece of trash, but a peerless genius. And as soon as they hear this, both the elders get shocked, and they both say, peerless genius? I know it wouldn't be that simple. And Kuang Shou further tells them all, the man's name is Ning Tian, he claims to be an useless handyman. I did what you asked and made Lin Xiaoyao have a duel with that loser. But who would have guessed he was not trash? He even defeated the prince with 1 palm. He learned the palm in 1 day, with 1 word he broke the hearts of everyone. And after knowing about Ning Tian, the first elder says, to achieve that is a legendary miracle, and the second elder says, Leader, this man must be taken seriously. Then the old man breaks the psychic gem, then he says, unexpectedly, that the girl has made a move. We must find out details about Ning Tian. The heavenly demonic sect must be eradicated or we will be in trouble. After this the scene shifts, the Empress' bedroom evening. And Luo Wuqing was taking off her makeup, and Ning Tian was sitting quietly. And Ning Tian was thinking, everyone in the hall reacted to the godly physics, but she didn't at all. And just in front of Ning Tian is his beautiful wife, and Ning Tian is thinking, Ning Tian, wake up. I became her husband out of nowhere. If the system didn't come around, I don't know how miserable that would have been. Who knows how much she will visit me in the future. If I want to gain a foothold in this world, I have to use my power. System. Activate charming physique. While no one else is around, let me try to shock you again. Let's see if it's the same as during the day. Ning Tian goes to Luo Wuqing and calls her, and Luo Wuqing looks at Ning Tian in the mirror, and she says yes. And Ning Tian has turned on the charming physique, and he is speaking to Luo Wuqing. A moment of a single spring night is worth thousands of pieces of gold. Should we do what we need to do? And Luo Wuqing turns her head back and she says to Ning Tian, I know of your special physique. You can do this with some little girls, but you can't handle me. Ning Tian is thinking after listening to Luo Wuqing. As expected of the Empress, her heart has reached an indestructible level. And Luo Wuqing opens her clothes, seeing which Ning Tian gets shocked and starts blushing. And Luo Wuqing turns back, and Ning Tian gets more shocked after seeing the sight in front. And Luo Wuqing starts coming near him, and while passing by him says to him, you want to do it, but don't dare to. And Ning Tian turns back and says to Luo Wuqing, who doesn't dare. And Luo Wuqing shows her power and says, who else is here but you? And after listening to Luo Wuqing's words, Ning Tian gets full enthusiasm and he says, for the sake of my dignity, I will prove myself right now. And then Luo Wuqing uses her power on Ning Tian, due to which Ning Tian stops at that place. And seeing that Luo Wuqing has used aura suppressed power on him, Ning Tian asks her, "What did you to do me?" And Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian while sleeping, "Nothing, I just suppressed you with a little bit of aura. Tonight sleep standing up." And Ning Tian's dreams are shattered after listening to Luo Wuqing's words. And Ning Tian can only say this to Luo Wuqing, "Hey, let me go. We shouldn't compete like this. Let's fight on the bed with real swords and guns." And after this it becomes very late at night. But Ning Tian is still standing and he is thinking, "It seems like she is not planning to let me go today. There's no way, the gap between us is too big. Let's just practice. Sooner or later, I will let you know that the world is big, the earth is big, but your husband is the biggest." And Ning Tian starts doing cultivation while standing, and the system tells Ning Tian, cultivation improvement increased by 3-fold. Next morning Ning Tian comes out of his bedroom. And while taking air, he is saying, "Damn it, Luo Wuqing, that woman is so ruthless, she made me stand the whole night. I cultivated all night and reached 7-star Black Warrior, but it's still only an upgrade of 1 star, I'm not fast enough." And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, the host can choose a place with abundant aura to cultivate. And seeing the notification Ning Tian is saying, "Abundant aura? Based on my memories, I know of such a place." After this we are told, primary cultivation ground and all the aura of the heavenly demonic sect is gathered here. There is perfect feng shui. The disciples of the sect can accelerate their cultivation speed there. And many disciples are doing their cultivation at this place. And then we see Ning Tian. He is also increasing his cultivation by sitting at this place. And when all the disciples see Ning Tian, they all get shocked seeing Ning Tian, and are saying about Ning Tian, "Look, look, look, isn't that the Empress husband? That's right, it's him. He's the most popular person in the sect currently. Didn't they always say he's trash? Look how quickly he absorbs aura. He is clearly a cultivation genius, right?" And Ning Tian is thinking while doing cultivation at this place, "I didn't expect the aura of the cultivation ground to be so abundant and pure. It's truly extraordinary." But Ning Tian says sadly, "Still not fast enough." And as soon as Ning Tian says this, all the disciples get shocked after hearing this from Ning Tian, and they are saying, "Not fast enough?" The aura is slowly entering his body. Then Ning Tian says, "Looks like I can only release my 10-fold cultivation power. 10-fold aura absorption is fully activated." And a golden aura is coming out from inside Ning Tian, seeing which all the disciples get very shocked. They feel as if an earthquake is coming. And they are all saying, "He is absorbing the aura of the whole cultivation ground." And Ning Tian is absorbing a lot of aura inside himself. And then Ning Tian gets a new technique, and the system tells Ning Tian, "You shocked a group of disciples, your reward is a black-ranked movement technique, Water Dragon Step." And the system tells Ning Tian, currently cultivating the Water Dragon Step at 10-fold speed. Water Dragon Step successfully cultivated. And a lot of golden aura is emanating from Ning Tian's body. And Ning Tian is thinking, "Water Dragon Step, sounds pretty good. With this movement technique, I will have no problems making my entry and exit. Now I have a lot of aura stored in my body, but without the addition of skills, my strength hasn't improved at all." Then Ning Tian goes to a girl, and asks that girl, "Hello, may I ask where the techniques of the sect are located?" And that girl tells Ning Tian, "Patriarch, they are at the scripture depository. Today is actually the day of opening." Yes, our heavenly demonic sect has a scripture depository. There are some techniques. And Ning Tian thanks that girl. But then he notices something, and asks the girl, "What did you call me? Patriarch?" And Ning Tian is thinking, "I am still a young man in my early 20s, how can I be someone's patriarch?" And the girl tells Ning Tian, according to the sect's rules, the one who marries the empress is named the patriarch. And Ning Tian smilingly says to that girl, "Patriarch sounds too old, I think my older brother is better." And I don't know what the girl feels after hearing this from Ning Tian, that she starts enjoying it. And all the disciples start fainting after listening to Ning Tian, or they don't know what is happening to them. And Ning Tian, while leaving that place, says, I won't disturb your cultivation training anymore, I'll take my leave. But all those disciples are saying, the aura has already been sucked dry by you, how can we train? And after this the scene shifts, heavenly demonic sect inside the scripture depository. And there is a very long line at this place, and Ning Tian asks the man in front of him, do you all want to enter the depository? Such a long queue, will it last until the horse of the month monkey year? The man tells Ning Tian, this depository is full of techniques and skills that successful leaders have searched for all their lives. It's not surprising there would be a queue for 3 days and 3 nights. And as soon as the man looks back, he gets shocked. Because behind that Ning Tian, patriarch, and seeing this, all the girls start going to Ning Tian and start praising him. And she starts calling him very handsome. And a girl says, I want to marry you. And also all the boys are shocked to see Ning Tian. And all those people are saying, he is indeed very charming. Not only did he marry the Empress, but he has also captured the hearts of many of the female disciples. And another man says, damn it, I wish I could have 1/10 of his charisma. And then someone comes to that place and he says, there's a lot of noise in front of the depository. Are there no rules? And this heavenly demonic sect Elder Guyen happens, then the elders release their energy, due to which a pressure starts getting generated. Then the elder comes forward and says, he is known to be old-fashioned and strict. He was sent to the depository because he contradicted the Empress. And Ning Tian says, if he stares at you, you will definitely be left with nothing. And the elder's eyes become red in color, and start glowing. But then the elder bows down in front of Ning Tian, and says to Ning Tian, Guyen greets the patriarch, and Ning Tian is shocked to see the action of the elder, and the man behind him is also shocked, and he is saying, is he possessed by evil spirits? It's the first time I've seen him so respectful. And the other man says, the patriarch is now famous in the sect and his strength is unfathomable. It's normal for an elder Guyen to be impressed by him. Then the elder gives a token to Ning Tian, and tells Ning Tian, is the patriarch going to the depository? This is the key to access all the floors of the depository. The patriarch can view everything. And Ning Tian is looking at that token, and at the same time he is thinking, how can he be a strict one? He's handling things very well. And Ning Tian takes the token, then he says, I just need to hold on to this ancient plate. And the elder tells Ning Tian, yes, forgive me for my insolence, but the higher you go, the higher the level of the skills are. Correspondingly, the requirements for strength are also higher. I wonder which floor the patriarch will go to. Then as soon as the elder looks ahead, he sees that Ning Tian has disappeared from that place. And Ning Tian is moving very fast, and he says, of course, I want to go too. Then Ning Tian comes directly to the 5th floor. And seeing Ning Tian going to the 5th floor, people start talking, the 5th. I think in terms of strength, the 3rd is the patriarch's limit. Even the most outstanding disciples can only go to the 4th. Except for the Empress, the Great Elder and the Supreme Elder, no one else has been to the 5th floor, right? And the elders are thinking, he's worthy of being the patriarch who broke many Tao hearts with one word, he is indeed unfathomable. And Ning Tian opens the door, and while going ahead he is thinking, there is a mountain of aura in my body right now, so naturally I have to choose the best techniques. Black rank technique, star absorbing skill. Elementary earth rank techniques, thunderbolt technique, electricity mastery, spiritual vein opening, intermediate earth rank techniques, heavenly spirit skill, auxiliary aura absorption speed, appropriate skills for the opening of meridians that allow aura to flow. The more spiritual veins there are, the faster the aura flows, and so the strength increases. There's a mountain of aura in my body right now. Naturally, I have to choose the best technique. But these can only open up a dozen spiritual veins at most, it's far from enough. And then Ning Tian sees a technique, and Ning Tian takes that technique, and he is thinking, advanced earth rank technique, Demon King's technique? Then Ning Tian takes out that technique, and he uses his 10-fold comprehension power. And the system says to Ning Tian, 10-fold comprehension of the Demon King's technique. The host is comprehending the Demon King's technique, elementary level reached. The host is comprehending the Demon King's technique, level increased. The host is comprehending the Demon King's technique, pinnacle level reach, and that technique has gone inside Ning Tian. And also a notification comes to Ning Tian through the system. The host has fully comprehended the Demon King's technique, and a lot of aura is emanating from inside Ning Tian. Then a light starts shining on Ning Tian's forehead, and a very strong aura emanates from inside Ning Tian, which all the people outside can also feel. And those people are saying, the patriarch has found an amazing technique. And the other man says, I wonder how much he can take on at once. And because of that token, the elder is talking to Ning Tian, and the elder is speaking to Ning Tian. Through the rules in the depository, the ancient plate allows the ones inside to communicate with the outside world. Patriarch, there was a sudden occurrence. I was worried if you encountered a problem. And Ning Tian tells the elder, there's indeed a problem. Too few spiritual veins opened. And the elder says, Patriarch, don't be too depressed. Usually, if you open more than 10, it's good. And a dangerous aura is coming out from inside Ning Tian, and he is saying, there's still more than half of the aura left. But only 100 of them opened. And when the elder hears this, he is shocked and he says, the limit of the Demon King's technique is 100 veins. Only a heavenly being can achieve this. And in only 30 minutes, this comprehension skill is so incredible. And due to the elder being shocked, Ning Tian gets a new technique, and the system tells Ning Tian, you shocked Elder Gu Yen, your reward is a God rank technique. God's Record. Obtaining the God's Record lets you unlock the godly physique. And that technique comes in front of Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is shocked to see that technique, godly physique. This part starts and Ning Tian is looking at God's Record skill and thinking about, this world's martial arts are divided into 5 categories from high to low: God, heaven, earth, black, yellow. The God's Record is the strongest God rank skill. System, cultivate the God's Record. Then Ning Tian starts cultivating God's Record skills. And then Ning Tian feels something, and he says, what's happening? Why isn't my absorption of aura continuing? And suddenly Ning Tian is feeling a lot of pain. He is not able to breathe properly. And he is speaking, unexpectedly. Cultivating a God rank skill would dissolve all of my previously developed spiritual veins. It's just like breaking my bones and rebuilding them again. Then the system tells Ning Tian, the host has comprehended 30% of the God's Record. You have reached a minor success. Activation of godly physique activated. Spiritual veins are about to be opened for the host. And a lot of spiritual energy is coming out, and Ning Tian is thinking, even though I have tenfold comprehension, I can still only get to 30%. I want to see this God rank skill. How many spiritual veins can open it? And many people wonder, what is happening? And a girl asks the elder, what's that? But even the elder is not knowing properly, and he says, a spiritual sea? When cultivating, the aura will gather in the dantian like a stream. The more aura is there, the more benefit if it is to one's cultivation. But only when the amount of aura is huge, will a sea be formed. Does the Patriarch Actali have such a high cultivation talent? And seeing this, everyone is very surprised, and they are saying, look, the Patriarch and his spiritual sea have soared into the skies. Is the Patriarch trying to absorb all of the aura of the heavenly demonic sect? And the elder is also very surprised, and he says, at such a young age, he already possesses 50 much aura. It's truly enviable. Then an elder senses that energy. And he is coming fast towards Ning Tian, and that elder is saying, so bold. Who is coveting the aura of my sect? And when they see the elder coming, they are very surprised. And they say, it's the Supreme Elder. Wasn't he in seclusion? The Supreme Elder must have had a successful breakthrough, and reached the immortal Emperor realm. And this elder is the Supreme Elder of the heavenly demonic sect. And the elder also gets surprised after seeing the Supreme Elder. But the Elder Supreme says to the elder, congratulations to the Supreme Elder for breaking through the immortal Emperor realm in one fell swoop. Now that you and the Empress are both powerful immortal Emperor realm cultivators, who would dare to bully our sect? But the Supreme Elder gets angry after listening to the elder's words, and the Supreme Elder shouts, breakthrough, my ass. It was so hard to reach that stage. And suddenly all the aura is being absorbed. How can one break through like this? Then the Supreme Elder asks, who on earth caused this mess? So the Elder says, Supreme Elder, you have been in seclusion for a year and don't know about it. The source of this strange phenomenon is the Empress' husband, the Patriarch. And hearing this, the Supreme Elder is surprised, and he says, that girl Luo Wuqing got marred? Who is her husband? The Divine, the Palace's Emperor, or the Holy Mist Lord. Then the Elder tells, it's not one of them, but a disciple of our sect. And hearing this, the Supreme Elder is surprised. Then he says, what? How can disciple be worthy of her? Being married to an ordinary disciple is not as good as being married to an emperor realm cultivator. This is not good for building connections for the sect. He is certainly worthy. And the elders become very angry. And he releases his pressure, due to which many people bend at the knees. But suddenly Luo Wuqing comes to this place, and seeing Luo Wuqing, the Supreme Elder says to her, you ruthless girl, the Righteous Alliance is eyeing our sect and may besiege us at any time. If you wish to get married, you should have chosen a strong husband. How can you afford to marry such a brat? Then Luo Wuqing says, Supreme Elder, please pay attention to what you say. I'm already the Empress. You don't need to worry about my personal affairs. Hearing Luo Wuqing's words, the Supreme Elder gets a little nervous and says, yes, Empress. And after listening to these two, a disciple asks the Elder, I didn't expect that the Empress would show no mercy to the Supreme Elder for the sake of the Patriarch. But the Elder asks the disciple to remain silent. Then suddenly thunder starts falling on Ning Tian, seeing which everyone gets surprised. And they say, it's the holy light thunder tribulation. Wasn't the Patriarch just cultivating a new skill? How did it turn into a tribulation? And a lot of thunder is happening above Ning Tian, seeing which the Supreme Elder says, that's not a thunder. Tribulation. The thunder dragon is forming and passing through the spiritual sea. He is using it to open up his spiritual veins. And the Elder gets surprised. Then he says, how is that even possible? I have never heard of anyone using the tribulation to open up their spiritual veins. And the Supreme Elder says to Luo Wuqing, ruthless girl, is your husband really just an ordinary disciple? With such talent, it is very possible for him to reach the Emperor realm one day. And the Elder is thinking, Supreme Elder, that's not what you said just now. And Luo Wuqing is smiling, and she is thinking, is it because of the godly physique that he used this calamity to open up his spiritual veins? If that is so, the road to becoming a god is just around the corner. And then a very dangerous thunder dragon attack is about to happen on Ning Tian. But then Luo Wuqing comes to save Ning Tian, seeing which people say, what's worse? Is that if the aura is not enough and the thunder dragon directly enters his body, he will explode and die. And Luo Wuqing is going to annihilate Ning Tian. And she is saying, you watch from here, don't come too close, I'll go and protect him. And Luo Wuqing uses her power to save Ning Tian. And she reaches out to Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is thinking, I didn't expect that transforming the thunder dragon into spiritual veins would require so much aura. But then Luo Wuqing gets surprised, and she thinks, to think he would actually forcibly absorb my aura? And a shield is formed between them, seeing which everyone is surprised. And those people are saying, the Empress is protecting him. That's the first time it has happened. Expect the ancestors? Who else can enjoy such treatment? And Luo Wuqing is thinking, so you want to drain me of my aura? You have a big appetite. I want to see how much you can absorb. And Luo Wuqing is releasing her energy. And Ning Tian is absorbing a lot of aura. Seeing which Luo Wuqing is saying, the thunder tribulation spiritual veins momentum is indeed out of the ordinary. But then a lot of energy comes out from inside Ning Tian, due to which Luo Wuqing's clothes get torn. But then Ning Tian reaches him, and catches him, because of which Luo Wuqing's boobs are not visible. And Ning Tian says thank you to Luo Wuqing, and says to her, thank you, my wife. Taking off your clothes to protect me. And Luo Wuqing is a little surprised to see Ning Tian's strange face. But she says to Ning Tian, will you not seen enough? Before I do something, let me go. And Ning Tian is thinking, I didn't expect her to protect me. It seems like she really doesn't want me to die. After this the sky clears. And the elder is asking the Supreme Elder, how many spiritual veins did you get at your first opening? So the elder tells, I was considered a genius back then, with a total of 80. This kid is extremely talented. He should be able to open up 40 to 50 of them. Then elder asks Ning Tian, patriarch, how many spiritual veins did you open up? So Ning Tian says, let me check. And Ning Tian starts checking, then he says, there is obviously still more than half of the aura left. Only 199 were opened. And hearing this the Supreme Elder, and the elders become very shocked. This part begins and we see, Dongshin Kingdom, Imperial Court. At the same time we see two people, and one of them happens to be Dongshin Kingdom Emperor, Lin Bai. And the second one is physician, Tian Lao. And Tian Lao is telling Lin Bai, reporting to the Lord, the place where the tribulation occurred was the heavenly demonic sect. And Lin Bai says, it's that heavenly demonic sect again. After my son came back from that sect, he lost his spirit and suffered from worries incurable by medicine. He became like a cripple. Tian Lao, contact the Righteous Alliance this instance to discuss the matter of destroying the heavenly demonic sect. But Tian Lao says, but Emperor, the Empress is there. And Lin Bai gets very angry, and he says, what of it? The heavenly demonic sect is located in our Dongshin Kingdom, and now they are becoming more and more powerful. I have always worried that they would replace the imperial family sooner or later. If they aren't eliminated now, then when? And after this the scene shifts, and we see the same three elders. Who is watching the thunder tribulation? And the old man is saying, there was such a big thunder tribulation. Could it be that the Empress broke through to the God realm? Then the first elder says, the God realm? Not yet. If she had broken through, wouldn't that mean we are going to die if we go to suppress the heavenly demonic sect in 6 months? And the old man says, right, Lu Qingying has no way of becoming a god. How can she break through the god realm? Have you forgotten about the battle of the gods thrown hundreds of years ago? So many Emperor realm experts exhausted their lives trying to become a god, but in the end, they failed down the road of becoming a god and died full of grievance. Then the second elder says, the thunder tribulation was so loud this time, it must have alarmed the whole domain. And hearing this, first the elder is surprised, then he says, what could be the source? Then the old man says, whatever it is doesn't matter, it must have something to do with Luo Qingqing. Now the threat of the Empress is getting even bigger, the heavenly demonic sect must be dealt with as soon as possible. After this the scene shifts and we see Ning Tian and Luo Wuqing, which have now come out. And looking at them the Supreme Elder is thinking, I didn't expect our sect to have such a person. This boy will turn into a sharp weapon in the future, even reaching the God realm. And then Luo Wuqing extends her hand towards Ning Tian. And she tears Ning Tian's clothes with her hands, seeing which Ning Tian gets very surprised. And all the people present at that place are also very surprised. Then Luo Wuqing places her hand on Ning Tian's chest, and Ning Tian coughs and says, cough cough. Honey, isn't that a little inappropriate? So many disciples and elders are watching. And everyone is closing their eyes seeing the actions of Luo Wuqing and Ning Tian. But then Luo Wuqing uses her power, and uses some kind of power on Ning Tian's chest, due to which thunder starts emanating from Ning Tian's body. And Ning Tian feels a lot of pain. He screams loudly. Then he sits on the ground, then says to Luo Wuqing, dear wife, you are. Then Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, there was still hidden damage left from the thunder tribulation in your body. I helped you with that. And Ning Tian gets surprised after listening to Luo Wuqing and he says, hidden damage? It turns out my wife was worried about me and wanted to help me heal. I'm so touched, I will definitely, wife? But then Luo Wuqing throws Ning Tian in the air with the help of her power, and she says, you talk too much. Then the elder nervously asks Luo Wuqing, Empress, will the patriarch be okay? So Luo Wuqing says, I didn't even use 10% of my strength, he won't die. Then Luo Wuqing stares at all of them and says, no one is allowed to speak of today's events. The ones who spread rumors will be mercilessly killed. Got it? And Luo Wuqing releases her power, realizing that everyone gets scared. and he says, replying to the Empress, we understand. There we see Ning Tian, which is still in the sky and is falling downwards. And he is screaming very loudly, then he falls into the water. Then he comes out of the water, and as soon as he comes out, we see some girls taking bath at that place. And seeing Ning Tian at that place, they all get very worried, wondering who he is. Then Ning Tian is saying, Luo Qingqing, after all, I'm still your husband, you actually threw me so far away. And after hearing Ning Tian's voice, a girl recognizes Ning Tian and calls him patriarch. And this is the same girl whom Ning Tian has met earlier. Then there are many girls also at that place. And one of the girls is saying, Patriarch, why did you come to the hot springs? And Ning Tian is thinking about looking at all those beautiful girls. It's over. My reputation as an upright and proper patriarch will be ruined. And Ning Tian tells those girls, no, that's an accident. Please listen to my explanation. I'm not such a person. Then a girl says, so it turns out the patriarch is a peeping Tom. And Ning Tian gets a little confused after hearing this. Then the girl further says, if the patriarch really wants to see it, we will show you slowly. No need to peep. And this girl is giving an open invitation to Ning Tian. And also all the girls present at this place are saying, Patriarch, let me lose your muscles. And all the girls start moving towards Ning Tian, and Ning Tian gets scared seeing all those beautiful girls coming towards him. And he jumps upwards to avoid the girls, and starts running away from this place. And seeing Ning Tian doing this, the eyes of those girls become moist. And those girls are saying, why did the patriarch leave so fast? Yes, it would have been wonderful to soak into the hot springs with the patriarch. And Ning Tian is running very fast, and he is saying, damn Luo Qingqing, I was almost deemed a perverted peep because of you. And that godly physique, it makes it even more dangerous. And Ning Tian is thinking about those beautiful girls, and at the same time he remembers Luo Wuqing's face, and thinks, fortunately, I didn't cheat just now, otherwise my well-being for the rest of my life will be gone for sure. And as soon as Ning Tian looks ahead, Luo Wuqing appears. And Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian, did you wash up well? And Ning Tian gets surprised after seeing Luo Wuqing. Then Luo Wuqing asks Ning Tian to follow her, and Ning Tian asks where do we have to go? But Luo Wuqing does not say anything. And after some time, Luo Wuqing has brought Ning Tian to a tunnel, and Ning Tian is looking at this tunnel and saying, I didn't think the sect had such a place. And Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, this is the forbidden region of the sect, the heavenly demonic cave, where the spiritual tablets of all previous leaders are. And Ning Tian is surprised to hear this, and he is thinking, why is she telling me this? And Luo Wuqing is thinking, as long as I get the manual for becoming a god, and break through the god realm, the sect will no longer be afraid of any wicked people. Then Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian, I want you to do something for me. And Ning Tian says, what is it? Then when Ning Tian looks ahead, he is very surprised, because there is a huge statue in front of him. And Luo Wuqing is saying to Ning Tian, I want you to drop some of your blood essence over the stone statue. And Ning Tian gets surprised after listening to Luo Wuqing, and he is thinking, the blood essence represents the cultivator's purest energy. In case of dropping it like this, it's used to control the other person, which requires blood essence. And Luo Wuqing is telling Ning Tian, don't worry, I don't wish to harm you. I would have done so a long time ago if I wanted to. How could you survive until now? And after listening to Luo Wuqing, Ning Tian is thinking, what is she's? This saying is true. If she, a strong cultivator in the Emperor's realm, wants to kill me, even if I have the system, I will still perish. It's unusual for an empress to marry a servant. Now that I am asked by her to do something, it must be important. Does it have to do with the entire sect? And Ning Tian says, okay, I will do it. And Ning Tian is thinking, there is a big power gap between us, so let's see what she wants first. Then Ning Tian starts releasing his blood essence, and he brings his blood essence over his 2 fingers. And use your blood essence. And he applies its blue essence on the forehead of that idol, due to which light starts emanating from that idol, and the eyes of that idol start glowing. And then a man appears at that place. And he is laughing very loudly, and he is saying, "My heavenly demonic sect, I have awakened." And Luo Wuqing and Ning Tian are surprised to see his power. And Luo Wuqing is saying, looking at that man, "Are you the sect's founder?" This part starts, and Ning Tian is looking at the heavenly demon and thinking, it's been at least several thousand years since the creation of the sect, and he is still alive? And the heavenly demon is laughing and saying, thousands of years have passed. Finally, someone with the godly physique was sent here. Someone with the godly physics is finally here. And Luo Wuqing is saying to the heavenly demon, what to do? You mean by this? Where is the manual and the way to become a god that you promised me? So the heavenly demon tells, haha, little girl, you're too naive. Do you really think that by practicing with the manual, you will be able to find the way to become a god? That's just a rumor that I made up. Thanks to yours foolishness, I was able to find someone with a godly physique, which saved me a lot of effort. And after listening to the words of heavenly demon, Ning Tian is thinking, so it turned out that she married me just for my godly physique, to get what, the way to become a god? And Luo Wuqing says to the heavenly demon, the ancestral teaching which has been passed down from generation to generation in the sect were actually fabricated by you, so, is the purpose helping you regain your body and return to the living? So the heavenly demon says that's correct. The previous leaders were all useless, none of them could find them godly physics. But luckily for me, you silly girl did. And hearing this, Luo Wuqing gets very angry, and she releases her power, and she says, you wish to die. Then she attacks the heavenly demon with the heavenly demonic palm, and Luo Wuqing's attack releases a lot of energy, seeing which Ning Tian is thinking, this is the strength of an emperor. The power of her palm is much stronger than the one I could produce. But Luo Wuqing's attack does not make any difference to the heavenly demon. Rather, he says, little girl, even if you're a strong immortal emperor realm cultivator, you can't do a thing to me, yours ancestors. But I am currently just in a spiritual state, so I won't be stupid enough to confront you head on. My target is him. And the heavenly demon starts going to Ning Tian, and seeing her coming towards him, Ning Tian says, oh, he wants to take over my body? And Ning Tian is smiling, and the heavenly demon has come very close to Ning Tian. And Ning Tian is telling him, come at me. And Luo Wuqing heavenly moves forward to stop the demon. But now it is too late. Heavenly demon has entered inside Ning Tian's body. And Luo Wuqing is about to attack the heavenly demon, and she is saying, get away. But now the heavenly demon has entered inside Ning Tian's body, and he is saying, there's no way I'm getting out after entering. And now we see inside Ning Tian's body. And the heavenly demon is saying, it's rumored that the godly physique is the best of the cultivation physiques. The ancient holy physique, the heavenly palace physique, they are all beneath it. What is that? Spiritual C. He actually has a spiritual C in his dantian. So unexpected, he seems to have an amazing cultivation talent. It seems like I'm rather fortunate. Where does this thunder come from in his spiritual C? A thunder dragon spiritual vein? I've never seen a cultivator with spiritual veins that turn into a thunder dragon. Since ancient times, thunder and lightning have been the nemesis of the spirit. The slightest carelessness can lead the spirit to fly away. No, I can't stay in this body. And the heavenly demon tries to escape from Ning Tian's body. But then Ning Tian says to the heavenly demon, old man, now that you're inside, it's not so easy to get out. And seeing the power of Ning Tian, the heavenly demon gets very shocked, and he thinks, this kid actually bested me like this. He must have known that my spiritual state is afraid of thunder and lightning the most. With a thunder dragon spiritual vein, it is impossible to be taken by force, so he let me in on purpose. So vicious, what? A remarkable method. And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system. And in that notification it is written, you have shocked the heavenly demon. Reward, spirit destruction skill. Destroy the spirit, convert the spirit's power into your own, and get stronger. And Ning Tian becomes happy after seeing the notification, and he is thinking, spirit destruction skill? That's interesting. Then Ning Tian starts reducing his size, and comes to the heavenly demon and says, "Heavenly demon, you're not so arrogant now?" And after listening to Ning Tian, the heavenly demon gets angry and says, "You brat, even if I'm just a spirit right now, I'm still in the immortal emperor realm. How can I be captured like this?" And the heavenly demon attacks Ning Tian with the heavenly demonic palm. But Ning Tian is watching the attack of the heavenly demon with a smile, and Ning Tian sends the thunder dragon to attack with just one gesture. And the thunder dragon destroys the attack of the heavenly demon. Seeing which the heavenly demon says impossible. But Ning Tian has made it possible. And Ning Tian now sends a thunder dragon to attack the heavenly demon. And a lot of energy is coming out from the thunder dragon. And Ning Tian has used spirit destruction skill, heavenly demonic 13 forms on the heavenly demon. And the heavenly demon forms a seal to stop Ning Tian's attack. And he is saying, "Damn it, my spirit is completely suppressed by the thunder, I can't even exert half of my power." And Ning Tian is saying to the heavenly demon, "Stop struggling and just turning into power for my godly physique." And hearing this, the heavenly demon shouts and says to Ning Tian, "You brat, I will kill you." And Ning Tian says, "Devour him." And the thunder dragon would have broken the heavenly demon's shield. And the thunder dragon attacks the heavenly demon, and the thunder dragon is about to devour him. And the heavenly demon is saying, "No, I don't want to." And the heavenly demon screams very loudly. And with this the game of heavenly demon ends. It becomes a resting peace. On the other hand, we see Luo Wuqing, which is very sad, and she is saying, "The manual to become a god. It was all a rumor, all of it was just a scam, what about him? He touched my body, I can't let him live, forget it. I was the one being deceived, I can't let him be taken by the heavenly demon in front of my own eyes." And Luo Wuqing is about to attack Ning Tian. But then the seal imposed by the heavenly demon is broken, and seeing this Luo Wuqing gets very shocked. Then Ning Tian calls Luo Wuqing his wife. And Luo Wuqing gets shocked after hearing this. Then she says, "You weren't possessed? After all, the ancestor is a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm. You are just a black warrior realm, and you absorbed all the power of the heavenly demon spirit?" And Ning Tian also gets shocked after seeing Luo Wuqing's action. But he smilingly says to Luo Wuqing, "Hee, with so much spiritual power, I'll get a lot of aura, right?" And then Ning Tian gets another notification from the system. And it is written in it, "The host has crossed the realm boundary after forcibly absorbing the spiritual power of a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm. Because of the difficulty of the absorption, self-destruction is about to happen." And then Ning Tian's eyes shine very brightly. And Ning Tian is feeling a lot of pain. And he is saying, "Ugh! It's too hot. My spiritual sea is boiling like lava. Too hot. I will explode." And seeing Ning Tian's condition, Luo Wuqing kisses Ning Tian directly, due to which Ning Tian gets very shocked. And Luo Wuqing is still kissing Ning Tian. And both of them are enjoying orgasm. Then Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian, "If you don't wish to explode, stay quiet." And Ning Tian is enjoying and thinking, "She is helping I suppress the violent spiritual power in my body?" And Ning Tian has held Luo Wuqing's waist. After this, an hour later. Then Luo Wuqing said, It's all done now." And Luo Wuqing pushes Ning Tian away from her. And Ning Tian is smiling, and he is thinking, although the process was exciting, it was a bit abrupt. Then Luo Wuqing takes out something and says to Ning Tian, "This is for you." And Ning Tian gets surprised to see that thing and he asks Luo Wuqing, "What's this?" So Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, "This is the spirit pearl formed with the energy of the spirit. It contains the aura of the heavenly demon. You can use this as a daily absorption cultivation tool. Remember, your cultivation must be gradual and causes 2 ma at one go. I won't be there to save you every time you're in danger." And Ning Tian takes the spirit pearl. And he becomes happy. Then he says to Luo Wuqing, "Okay, thank you." Ning Tian further says, "Wife, now that we have destroyed the heavenly demon, doesn't that count as deceiving our ancestors?" And as Ning Tian says, Luo Wuqing starts destroying this place, and she says, "This guy has been deceiving generations of heavenly demonic sects leaders for his own selfish gains. A person who is not worthy of being a member of the heavenly demonic sect, it can't be said that we deceived anyone." And within some time, Luo Wuqing destroys this place, seeing which Ning Tian gets shocked. Then Luo Wuqing is thinking, "But I did not expect the manual to actually be a fabricated lie. Without guidance on how to become a god, there is no way for me to break through. If the Righteous Alliance attacks, what will we do? Well, there's nothing we can do about it. If their people come, we will block them with all our might. Even if the heavenly demonic sect is destroyed, I will still make them culprits suffer in the future." Then Ning Tian's body starts glowing, seeing which Ning Tian gets shocked. And he says to Luo Wuqing, "Wife, I am breaking through?" And Luo Wuqing also gets shocked, and she is thinking, it's really godly physics. Within a few days he had several breakthroughs and success. Such speed is truly a rare sight. Then Ning Tian sits down to do cultivation. And Luo Wuqing is saying while leaving, "Then I will leave you to cultivate in peace." After this, Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system says, "Congratulations to the host for breaking through the 8-star Black Warrior realm. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the 9-star Black Warrior realm. Host has undergone a breakthrough. Congratulations to the host for breaking through once again, 1-star spiritual realm." And Ning Tian is saying, after entering the spiritual realm, the difficulty of cultivation greatly increases. At that time, the aura needed will also increase. No matter what happens in the future, I have to stabilize my foundation first. After this the scene shifts and we see Shadow Demonic Sect. And a man is saying to the sect leader, Ancestor is here. And the sect leader becomes happy after hearing this. Then he turns back and says, "Sanshur, you broke through again?" And Sanshur is saying, "Yes, this disciple has already received the peak of the spiritual realm. I'm just one step away from entering the Earth King realm." Then the sect leader says, "You are only 20 years old, but you can already be compared to those elders who are around 50 years old. With yours potential, our sect has found its successor. It's a shame that our sect is being suppressed by that heavenly demonic sect. We will never be able to get ahead like this. Since ancient times, the demons have respected the strong." Then Sanshur says, "The heavenly demonic sect has their powerful empress who has been their leader for hundreds of years." And the sect leader is saying, "The heavenly demonic sect follows the demonic path, and they also cultivate demonic arts. But how can a woman with a kind heart and a soft hand lead the people of the demonic path? The leader of the demonic path should be our shadow demonic sect. Sanshur, in 3 days, the heavenly demonic sect will be holding a Dow Conference, and you will be there as a representative of our sect. You must remember, your presence there is to elevate our sect's reputation." And Sanshur says to the sect leader, "What do you mean, sect leader?" Then the sect leader says, "Everyone in the demonic path has been unsatisfied with the Empress for a long time now. In addition, not long ago, dark clouds covered the sun and a thunder tribulation occurred. Many people were left restless, so they will send their geniuses there." And Sanshur says, "So, we must trample the disciples of the heavenly demonic sect under our feet in front of everyone. Then the Empress will suffer a great loss." And the sect leader is saying, "Exactly. Let's see how she can hold on to her position as the leader of the demonic path when that happens." On the other hand, Ning Tian has made a breakthrough. And he is saying, "I was lucky this time, the heavenly demon was just in a spiritual state, and he happened to be restrained by the thunder and lightning, otherwise I might have been killed by him. According to what I've heard, the various forces are constantly fighting. We will definitely encounter dangerous situations in the future." She was right. There won't be someone to help me every time there is danger. Then Ning Tian gets a notification by the system, and the system says, "Host, the night of the full moon is full of aura. It's a good time to cultivate." And Ning Tian is saying, "I have to work hard and increase my strength as soon as possible." And Ning Tian sits down to do cultivation again. And as soon as some people see Ning Tian doing cultivation, they all get very shocked. And those people are saying, "Huh? It's so late, and there are still people cultivating on the Moonlight cliff?" And a man notices something, then he says, looks like the patriarch? And a girl is saying, it really is him. On a full moon night, he is cultivating here instead of enjoying the night with his empress, he is so hard-working. And the other girl says, men who work hard are so handsome. And seeing Ning Tian doing cultivation, all the men get very dangerous motivation. And those people are saying, our patriarch is working so hard. How can we fall behind? Yes, we should all cultivate too. Just then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system tells Ning Tian, you shocked all the disciples and motivated them to cultivate. Reward, tenfold moonlight aura absorption speed. And Ning Tian gets surprised after seeing the system notification, and he is thinking, what are? They were shocked about it. Whatever, let's cultivate in peace. Start tenfold moonlight aura absorption. And Ning Tian gets another notification by the system, and the system says, tenfold moonlight aura absorption speed, begin. And Ning Tian is absorbing a lot of spiritual energy. And seeing this, everyone becomes even more shocked. And they all are saying, heavens, look! Even the moonlight is going towards the patriarch. And a girl says, the patriarch is truly divine. Just then the great elder arrives at that place. And looking at those people they say, what are you all doing gathered together in the middle of night? The girls are surprised to see the great elder. But a girl says to the great elder, please keep your voice down, we don't want to disturb the patriarch's cultivation. And the great elder gets shocked after hearing this. And when he looks ahead, he gets even more shocked. And he is saying, are my eyes seeing right? The patriarch is actually cultivating? And these brats too? And we see that many people have sat at that place to cultivate. And Ning Tian is cultivating while sitting on top of the peak. And a man tells the great elder to shut up. Then Ning Tian is absorbing the pearl given by Luo Wuqing, and a lot of energy is being released from that pearl and Ning Tian is absorbing it. Then the system gives a notification to Ning Tian, and it says the host has broken through. Congratulations to the host for breaking through again, and reaching the 2-star spiritual realm. And Ning Tian is saying, not bad. If I continue like this, I should be able to reach the Earth King realm within 2 months. Then the great elder, looking at Ning Tian's cultivation, says it took me 2 years to break through from the spiritual realm to the Earth King realm, and he's planning to reach it in 2 months, even saying this as if it's as easy as drinking water. This is abnormal, Brad is really. Then a disciple says in shock, everyone, look! What is that on the patriarch? And we see that Ning Tian has created a huge spiritual body of his own. And Ning Tian gets a reward from the system, and the system says, you shocked all the disciples and the great elder. Reward, faith cultivation. Or faith aura cultivation. And the system rewards Ning Tian, and tells him, faith cultivation. When you are surrounded by your followers and cultivate with them, the followers' cultivation speed will be doubled and the aura cultivated by the followers will replenish the host. And Ning Tian starts smiling after listening to the system. And he is thinking, replenish the host, that is good. There is no shortage of followers. But if I can get the great elder too, with his strength, the aura that replenishes me will be even stronger. Then Ning Tian comes down from the peak, and seeing Ning Tian's increased power, the great elder becomes very surprised. And he is a little nervous. Then Ning Tian says to the great elder, I saw the night sky, and the moonlight tonight is particularly bright. The aura is also abundant. Why don't we cultivate together, maybe we can gain a lot. Then the great elder says to Ning Tian, there's no need, I have somewhere else to be. But the great elder is thinking, in former days, the moonlight was the same, what could you gain? Then we see some disciples, who is becoming very happy, and one of the disciples is saying, heavens, the patriarch is amazing. I broke through. And a female disciple says, me too. The patriarch is truly amazing. And as soon as the great elder listens to those disciples' words, he becomes extremely happy. And they are thinking, what kind of luck did they have tonight? Not only collective cultivation but even collective breakthrough. And then the great elder says to Ning Tian, ahem, since the patriarch has invited me so kindly, I can't refuse. And then the great elder sits down with the disciple to do cultivation. But they are thinking, weird, why don't I feel anything special? Then a disciple says to the great elder, you need to shout. The patriarch is the coolest. First. As the heavenly demonic sect's great elder, I can't say such shameless words. But after listening to that disciple's words, the great elder is getting angry. But he raises his hand, and he says, the patriarch is the coolest. And he passionately says, double the aura entering my body? The patriarch is truly the coolest dash. Then we see Ning Tian, which sits down again for cultivation, and a lot of energy is coming out from inside it. And he is thinking, yes, with the aura of the moonlight, the pearl, and the power of faith, the effect is indeed greater. And seeing Ning Tian doing cultivation, the great elder's eyes become moist. And he is saying happily, with the patriarch here, the heavens have truly blessed our sect. After this the scene shifts. And we see, heavenly demonic palace. And Luo Wuqing is sitting at this place. Then the great elder is saying to Luo Wuqing, greetings to the Empress. Forgive me, I am late. Then Luo Wuqing asks the great elder, what happened, great elder? And the great elder explains, replying to the Empress, I followed the patriarch to cultivate at Moonlight Cliff last night, so I was late. And hearing this, another elder is surprised, and he says, with the patriarch? He is only a black warrior realm. Then the great elder explains, no, you don't understand. I cultivated with the patriarch, and the aura was more abundant and effective than usual. Then a second man says, although there hasn't been a breakthrough yet, your aura has definitely consolidated a lot. And a third man says, great elder, take me with you next time. And Luo Wuqing is a little surprised after listening to his words, and she is saying, this guy didn't come back all night and made such a fuss. Then Luo Wuqing says to all the people present at this place, everyone, let's get back to business. The Dow Conference is about to begin soon. At that time there will be countless geniuses coming to our sect. Even if it's a friendly matter, the disciples of the heavenly demonic sect must not fall behind others. Elders, do you understand? And they all say yes after listening to Luo Wuqing. Then, 3 days later, we see that many cultivators are gathering in the heavenly demonic sect. And they all are saying, Great Stone Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. Splitting Mountain Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. Heaven Soaring Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. Shadow Demonic Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. And the disciples are very shocked to see so many cultivators. And one disciple is saying, so many people have come to the conference this time. Then the other disciple says, even the 3 great demonic geniuses are here. That is the genius of the Heaven Soaring Sect, Ling Tian. A genius swordsman, cool and calm, I heard he is the young master of the sect. The chief disciple of the Shadow Demonic Sect, Yin Sanshur. He is so vicious that he once slaughtered a whole village on his own. However, the Shadow Demonic Sect and our Heavenly Demonic Sect have always been at odds. It's difficult to say if he's here with good intentions or if there's something else brewing. And then someone enters that place. Seeing what another disciple is saying, it smells nice. And the female disciple is saying, it's the saint of Yaoqi. They have no disputes with anyone, they didn't come to the Empress wedding either. But this time, a saint has come. And indeed saint is looking very beautiful. Then a man welcomes all of those cultivators, and says to them, welcome to the heavenly demonic sect, everyone. I'm Li Changxing, I will take you to the conference stage. And saint says to that senior brother, I saw many disciples of the heavenly demonic sect cultivating on the cliff peak over there from a distance. May I ask which genius disciple of your sect is on top of the cliff? And the senior tells, oh, that's our patriarch who is leading them. And as soon as he listens to the 3 seniors, he is thinking, the patriarch, the husband of the Empress? And Ling Tian says, just in the spiritual realm. He can't even take care of himself and he is leading others? That's nonsense. Then we see some disciples, who are becoming very happy. And those people are saying, I broke through. The patriarch is truly a god. And a female disciple says, ha ha ha. I broke through. The patriarch is truly a god. And the seniors are saying happily, such a pretense. Then we see Ning Tian, who is leaving, thinking, this chance to improve my skills, how could I miss it? Then we see, conference stage. And many cultivators gather at this place, and all those people are sitting and watching the competition. And one participant breaks a rock very easily. And he is saying happily, the great mountain sect's power is infinite. Please guide me, heavenly demonic sect senior brother. And after listening to him, his brother is smiling and he is saying, of course, junior brotherly. I will gladly guide you. And she shows off her muscular body. Then he punches the rock, and very easily breaks the rock into pieces. And seeing the power of that man, the other man gets very shocked, and he says, I give up. Then we see the great elder, who is laughing very loudly. And next to him is his daughter Luo Wuqing. And the great elder is saying, we have elite disciples, so they will definitely achieve a total victory in this conference. And Luo Wuqing says, don't be too happy, the three most difficult opponents haven't taken the stage yet. Then Ning Tian comes behind Luo Wuqing, and he says to Luo Wuqing, three most difficult opponents? Let me see them? Then Yin Sancher is flying in the air, and he is saying, some people cultivate with the Tao of swords, some with the Tao of music. Each path of the Tao has its own characteristics. I am Yin Sancher, and I don't care about any of them today. Let's just talk about what is Tao. And as soon as the crowd sees Yin Sancher, they all start saying, is the shadow demonic sect here to cause trouble? What is this question even? The Tao is truly mysterious, no one can solve this question. And Yin Sancher is saying, no one has thought of the answer for thousands of years. And at the same time he is thinking, today I will let your heavenly demonic sect get on stage, and not get off. And Luo Wuqing is thinking after listening to Yin Sancher, it is said that if one understands even a bit of the Tao, they can break through without even cultivating. The shadow demonic sect has come prepared today. We then see the elders, who are extremely shocked. And one of the elders is saying, what should we do? Drive him away for cause trouble? And the great elder says, no, in that case, won't our sect lose face? This is what the shadow demonic sect is waiting for. And the second elder says, then should we just admit defeat today and let them slap us in the face like this? Then we see Ning Tian, who is eating an apple. And he is smiling. Then he says to Luo Wuqing, wife, are all the shadow demonic sect disciples sissies like him? Such a pity, just like a woman in men's clothes. And as soon as Ning Tian says this, the reaction on Yin Sanchi's face changes. And he thought to be so close to Luo Qingqing, he must be the patriarch, right? Such a worthless man for her. And the crowd is saying, wow! He hates being called a woman the most. Who is that crazy? If you offend him, you will be in big trouble. Then Yin Sancher says, so? No one in the entire heavenly demonic sect can answer me? Then in response Ning Tian says, sissy, is such a simple question worthy of being asked at a Dow Conference? And we see Yin Sancher, who is thinking, he is so calm, does he really have an answer to my question? That's impossible. I have been preparing this question for a long time now. This stupid patriarch is only in the spiritual realm, how could he know? And the great elder is saying, do you know the answer, patriarch? Then Ning Tian says, what is Tao? I don't know what's so difficult about this simple question. Just take a good look. And Ning Tian starts going down rapidly. And he reaches the stage. And seeing Ning Tian, the crowd starts saying, the patriarch has entered the stage. The patriarch has shocked us too many times now. And a female is saying, how will he shock us this time? And Yin Sancher says to Ning Tian, I see that you are young, and your level is low. Does the demonic heavenly sect really wish to be as hasty as to send you to answer my question? And Ning Tian says, sometimes, some things are not determined by age. Then we see Ling Ao, which is saying, it's stupid to call this question simple. I suppose he is just talking nonsense. Sissy, I will now tell you what Tao is. And then Ning Tian starts telling Yin Sancher, Tao, it's formless, soundless and scentless. It's vast with no boundaries, and tiny with no space. Tao, it creates all of heaven and earth. It's the whole energy that dominates everything in the world. And the crowd starts getting very surprised after listening to Ning Tian's words. And an old man starts speaking, as expected of the patriarch. His understanding of the Tao is so deep and unfathomable. And the other guy says, why couldn't understand the patriarch's words? And a woman says, regardless, he looks so cool, and Yao Qi Saint is thinking, he is worthy of being the legendary patriarch. He stabilized the situation with just 2 sentences. And after listening to Ning Tian's explanation, Ancestor tells him, do you think you can get away with it by spouting some words that no one understands? And Ning Tian says to him, what are you talking about? Hey, it's bad to be that uneducated. Listen carefully. For you, there won't be a lesson like this again. There are 3,000 paths, each of which have their own understanding. Take the sword Tao for example. This path uses the sword intent. It is the swordsman's understanding of the sword. If the person who is practicing swordsmanship understands sword intent, he can be said to have understood the sword Tao. By analogy, what is Tao? I don't need to explain them one by one, right? What the patriarch is saying is that there are 3,000 kinds of Tao among those paths, right? Every one of them is unique in its own way? And the crowd gets very shocked after hearing Ning Tian's explanation. And Ning Tian further explains, the Tao is simply the path you choose. Among the 3,000 paths, when you succeed in cultivating one, the Tao is already in your heart. Otherwise, how could you succeed in cultivation? Then, the crowd gets very excited after hearing this. And they all start saying, I get it. The patriarch's words have enlightened me and solved all my issues. I am going to break through. Yin Sancher along with the crowd gets very shocked after hearing Ning Tian's words. And he is saying, it can't be, it's impossible. To cultivate the Tao, to understand the Tao is in the heart. If it was that simple, I would have. And then, after listening to Ning Tian's words, Yin Sancher makes a breakthrough. And he becomes even more shocked. And Ning Tian is smiling, and he is saying, he doesn't admit it with his mouth but his body is honest. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, I didn't expect that my casual talk could shock these talented people, they must be easy to fool. And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system says, you are shocked. Everyone present. Bonus skill card, Great Emperor Strike. Great Emperor Strike. You can use the strike of a peak immortal Emperor realm. After use, the skill card becomes invalid. And seeing the system notification, Ning Tian is thinking, the strike of a peak immortal Emperor realm cultivator. If I encounter a powerful enemy whose realm has several stages higher than mine, this is equivalent to having a life-saving trick. And the Great Elder is very shocked, and he is saying, in the past, one wise thought from him shook the hearts of many talents. And now, he cleared up everyone's doubts. Having such a patriarch is truly a rare blessing for us. But Luo Wuqing is watching Ning Tian's moments carefully. Then Yin Sancher says to Ning Tian, I admit, it is my loss today. And saying this, Yin Sancher starts leaving the stage. And the crowd is saying, the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect is amazing. But while Yin Sancher is saying, the plan failed, so the sect leader has to make a move. Humph! So what if you can answer it? After I return to the sect, you and your sect will suffer a huge loss of face. After this, Ling Ao says to Ning Tian, the heavenly soaring sect, Ling Ao. Please guide me, patriarch. And Ling Ao comes on stage. Then he says, I wish to discuss the sword Tao. And seeing Ling Ao in front of Ning Tian, the crowd starts saying, the show is starting. Ling Ao is the most powerful among these 3 geniuses, and his strongest point is swordsmanship. Can the patriarch still stand victorious? And Ning Tian says to Ling Ao, bring it on. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, great. Just in time to test the martial arts given by the system. Then Ling Ao takes his sword out of its sheath, and he is saying, the shadow sword in my hand is a treasure-grade weapon. And he attacks Ning Tian with the sword. And seeing this the crowd starts saying, heavens! In the entire heavenly spirit domain, the treasure weapon is one of the most powerful. The sect leader really values him giving him such a sword. Treasure grade? Is that so powerful? Weapons of the domain are generally divided into 5 grades: magic weapon, spiritual weapon, treasure weapon, immortal weapon, and artifact. I heard there are grades above artifacts, but no one has seen them. And Ning Tian starts smiling after listening to the crowd. And he is thinking, I see. However, the weapon is secondary, its effectiveness still depends on its user. And Ling Ao turns his sword towards Ning Tian. Then he says, Patriarch, why don't you have a sword? If you don't, how can we discuss the sword Dao? And Ning Tian says, I don't have one. And hearing this, the crowd wants to give their weapons to Ning Tian, and those people are saying, Patriarch, I have a good one. And the other man says, use mine, Patriarch. Mine is good, it's a spiritual weapon. Then we see that energy starts coming out from inside Ning Tian, which is thunder. And Ning Tian is saying, although I have no physical sword, I have other ones. And as soon as Ling Ao feels Ning Tian's aura, he gets extremely shocked. And he is saying, aura turning into a sword, your swordsmanship has reached complete perfection. And we see that because of Ning Tian's power, a thunder dragon has been formed. And Ning Tian is saying, sword intent dragon. And Ning Tian attacks Ling Ao with the dragon. And Ling Ao gets very nervous after seeing this. Then the crowd is saying, such a fierce sword intent. It's like a blue dragon bursting out of the mountain plar, it's incredible. Then Ning Tian apologizes to Ling Ao and says, sorry, my hand slipped. Even if I have understood sword immortal practice to master it. And Ling Ao is very nervous. And he is saying, the sword intense Patriarch and I have mastered are not at the same level at all. There's really always someone better. Patriarch, I surrender. In this exchange I've lost. And as soon as the crowd hears Ling Ao saying that he has accepted defeat, they all become very happy. And they all are saying, he won. I know it. The Patriarch would definitely win. He actually defeated the most powerful genius of the demonic path. The Patriarch is truly strong. And Ling Ao starts leaving the stage. And while leaving he is saying, Yaoqi Saint, will you come next? And seeing Ling Ao leaving, Ning Tian is thinking, I at least got the chance to fight with someone and test the sword's intent. Then we see Yaoqi Saint, which is speaking to Ning Tian, Patriarch, I'm not here to discuss Dao, I'm here to. And as soon as Yaoqi Saint says this, purple-colored energy starts coming on the stage, seeing which Ning Tian gets surprised. And he's thinking, this is bad, my aura is being suppressed. I can't move. Damn it. And due to that energy, Ning Tian's power starts getting suppressed. And he comes on the stage by the hair of his knees. And he's thinking, it's an immortal Emperor Realm cultivator. But it can't be the Luo Wuqing. Who is it? And we see that because of purple energy everyone is feeling a lot of pressure. Luo Wuqing then uses her powers to suppress the purple energy, bringing relief to all of them. Then those people are saying, the aura vanished? And a man says, the Empress is as strong as ever? And the other man says, it's fortunate that the Empress took action. Then Luo Wuqing said, old shadow demon, now that you're here, why bother hiding like a rat? And then a man opens the portal and comes out. And he is laughing. Then the man says to Luo Wuqing, our 5 major sects have been long dissatisfied with your sect being the leader of the demonic Dao. If you know about current affairs, then you would hand over your position as leader. And many of the old man's friends also come to that place, Poison Valley leader Snake Venom, Demonic Soul sect Elder Soul Destroyer, Yin Yang sect leader Wei Vinyang, Scorpion Gate Lady Scorpion, Shadow Demonic sect leader Old Shadow Demon. And looking at them the elder says, 5 strong cultivators of the immortal Emperor Realm all come together to force the heavenly demonic sect. And looking at those people, Ning Tian is thinking, the 5 of them are all immortal emperors. Such strong people are forcing their way into our sect. Can my wife stop them? Then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, there is no need for the host to worry. You underestimate your wife's power. This system recommends the host to enjoy the show. And Ning Tian is thinking, at worst, I will have to activate the Emperor's punch skill to give my wife a helping hand. And after listening to those people, Luo Wuching starts getting angry, and she says angrily, "Oh, you want to be the leader, are you worthy of it?" And after listening to Luo Wuching, a man says she didn't pay them any mind at all. Could it be that the Empress' cultivation is so high that far surpasses theirs? And Yao Qi Saint says, "Looks like that battle today is inevitable." And Ning Tian becomes very happy when he listens to Luo Wuching. And he shows his thumb and says, "She is indeed my wife. So domineering." Then this scorpion lady says, "Luo Wuring, since you're so arrogant, don't blame us for attacking. Elder Soul Destroyer, why don't you bring out the treasure of your sect?" And the old man is the one using the soul-destroying diagram. And he does, due to which many skeletons move forward to attack. And that man is saying, "This is a low-grade, immortal weapon. It took 9,999 souls to refine. Their souls will be trapped in it forever, unable to reincarnate. Although I can't summon that many souls for the time being, I can still summon a mere 3,000. And seeing that attack, a man from the crowd says, "Immortal weapons are extremely strong. It is said that some are even able to let the holder cross realms and defeat their enemies." And a woman says, "Right, even if one appears, all sects would fight for it to death." And a man says he actually took out such a weapon. The Empress is in trouble. And seeing that attack, Ning Tian is saying, 9,999 souls to refine this. This diagram is truly wicked. And the system tells Ning Tian, "Don't worry, host, your thunder tribulation can subdue this soul destruction technique. These 3,000 souls are a good resource. Each one can power up your soul pearls." And Ning Tian is thinking, "Not bad, system, I have to get this soul destruction diagram." And Luo Wuching is smiling, and she is saying, "A low immortal weapon, it seems like you have been carefully preparing for a long time." And the old man says, "Of course, in order to beat you, each one of us has prepared an immortal weapon. Let's see how you can resist." And Ning Tian is shouting, "Don't be afraid, wife, these old guys are just bragging right now. How the weapon is used depends on its master. Leave that old soul destroyer to me." Then the man says to Ning Tian, "You brat, without Luo Wuching protecting you, I could kill you with one finger." But then a bright light from the sky falls on Luo Wuching. Then Luo Wuching is saying to them, "1 divine realm, 7 stars. 4 divine realms, 3 stars. I wonder what will happen now. Do you dare to challenge me?" And seeing Luo Wuching's power, the man says, "She is at the peak of the immortal emperor realm? Old ghost, you didn't mention she had reached 9 stars. So what? We are attacking with all we have. I don't think she can withstand it." But the old man says, "Elder Soul Destroyer, use the 3,000 souls to deal with the others." But the man doesn't listen to his partner, and is about to use 3,000 souls to attack. And all of them together move forward to attack Luo Wuching. But then Luo Wuching attacks them, and seeing this, the old man says, "Elders of the heavenly demonic sect, follow me in killing these souls." And Ning Tian is also ready to use his power, these 3,000 souls again. "If you meet me, you will turn into ashes in the end." And a man looks at Ning Tian and says in shock, "Each of the souls is comparable to the existence of the Earth King realm." And the other man says, "The patriarch is just in the spiritual realm, yet he is so relaxed when facing the souls." And Ning Tian is getting notification through the system, "You shocked all the elders. Reward is the Thunder Tribulation Restrainment. 10-fold comprehension of the Thunder Tribulation Restraint Formation. Comprehension complete." And Ning Tian is now completely ready. And he is saying, "Thunder Tribulation Restraint Formation." And as soon as Ning Tian activates the formation, a lot of thunder starts coming out, which directly hits the person, due to which he is experiencing a lot of pain. And Ning Tian is saying to her, "I want you to give you a helping hand finding true freedom. What I do is not that much." And everyone gets very shocked after seeing Ning Tian's power. And they all are saying, "He created the formation in seconds. Is the patriarch a formation master?" And the lady says, "The patriarch becomes even more mysterious." And then Ning Tian takes the scroll from that man and catches him. And he is saying, "Old man, thank you for the 3,000 souls." And the man says, "Shadow demon. Where did the brat come from? He actually refined my diagram." And his partner says he is by no means trash, and the old man says, it must have been pretending to be weak. He deceived us. And Luo Wuqing is ready to attack those people, and she is saying, you don't have the power to have time to chat? You 5 die. And the old man gets scared after seeing Luo Wuqing's attack, and he shouts, watch out. Use your spiritual power quickly. And then he gets attacked by the heavenly demonic palm. And we see that they all fall very far. And blood is coming out of their mouth. And they all get badly injured. And the man says we must have fallen into their trap. Now the two of them have joined forces, and the old man says, we can only sacrifice the immortal weapons, kill her first, then deal with the rest. And his partner says, yes, if we don't unite, this will be our end. And they stand together again to attack. And Luo Wuqing also notices this thing. And all of them together attack Luo Wuqing with their respective techniques. And the old man is saying, Elder Soul Destroyer, take action quickly. And the man moves forward to attack Ning Tian, saying, brat, you refined my diagram. And as soon as Luo Wuqing sees that the man is about to attack Ning Tian, she gets scared. And now Luo Wuqing has become very angry, and she is saying, if you dare hurt him, I'll tear you to pieces. And very dangerous energy is coming out from Luo Wuqing, due to which those people start facing a lot of problems. And Luo Wuqing attacks him with a heavenly demonic palm, due to which they all get injured even more. And that man is about to attack Ning Tian, and Luo Wuqing is quickly going to save Ning Tian. Besides, the great elder would also have become very distressed. And the elder behind him is saying, is the legendary patriarch of our sect destined to die today? And Ling Ao says, the shadow demonic sect and the other sects are simply too wicked. And the Yaoqi saint is saying, don't act rashly. Yet, this is a battle between immortal emperor realm cultivators. It's not something we can interfere with. And that man is about to attack Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is saying, you old bastard system, activate the great emperor's strike for me. And the system activates the skill card, due to which Ning Tian's power increases a lot. And seeing this, the man becomes very shocked, and he says, an immortal emperor's power? This kid, is he an immortal emperor? And Ning Tian says to that man, old man, it's you who deserves to die today. Then Ning Tian attacks the man, due to which a huge explosion occurs at that place. And Ling Ao gets very shocked after seeing this, and he says, a strong cultivator of the immortal emperor, the realm was turned into dust with just one strike. And Ning Tian stands quietly at that place. Then after this, Luo Wuqing comes to Ning Tian, and Luo Wuqing is thinking, Ning Tian is clearly only in the spiritual realm. How did he release the aura of an immortal emperor? And then blood starts coming out of Ning Tian's mouth, and Ning Tian is about to fall. But Luo Wuqing catches him, and Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian, are you hurt? And Ning Tian is thinking, my heartless wife, you still care for me. Then all the elders come forward to help Ning Tian, and Luo Wuqing tells them he's right. He just passed out from exhaustion. Next, it's time to settle our accounts. And now Luo Wuqing wants to kill them all. And we see that those people are running away in fear, and the old man is telling them all to get out of this place quickly, but Luo Wuqing takes out the bow and arrow and she says, you want to escape from my hands? Do you think that's a possibility? And Luo Wuqing attacks them with an arrow, which directly hits all of them, due to which they are killed. But the old man still survives, and he says to Luo Wuqing, you are crazy. Blood escapes. And the old man runs away from this place, using the blood escape technique. And Luo Wuqing says to Great Elder, now that the immortal emperors of the 4 sects have been taken care of, go and finish them off. After this the scene shifts and we see, Righteous Alliance. And a man is saying, all 4 major sects are gone? The shadow demonic sector, the demonic Dro, led the 4 immortal emperors to force the heavenly demonic sect. Unexpectedly, only the old shadow demon escaped with serious injuries. The good-for-nothing husband of the Empress summoned the power of an immortal emperor to kill Elder Soul Destroyer with one strike. And the old man says, Luo Wuqing is also extremely powerful, at the peak of the immortal emperor realm. How many would dare to provoke her? As for that good-for-nothing, maybe she had given him some means of protection. And the man says, despite this, the names of the heavenly demonic sect and that patriarch are now spread throughout the heavenly spirit domain. Then the old man says it is not an issue. When the void god heavenly palace's leader comes out from seclusion, with us being at the peak of the immortal emperor realm, how can Luo Wuqing be our opponent? Also, tell everyone, the many disciples that have been sent out for training, if they meet the heavenly demonic sect's disciples, kill without mercy. There. Heavenly demonic sect. Holy pool. 3 days later. Ning Tian slowly opens his eyes, and he is saying, ugh. I'm still alive. My whole body feels like it is falling apart. I thought I was going to meet my end with that old man. And the system says to Ning Tian, as the host has shocked everyone in sight, the level of faith cultivation has been improved, and faith energy has been stored. When your faith energy reaches its full capacity, it can be used as a means of attack. Faith energy absorption +1, faith energy absorption +2. Current faith energy storage, 30/100. And seeing the system notification, Ning Tian is thinking, that's great. Not only does it counter aura, but it can also store faith energy and turn it into an attack. Then the Great Elder says to Ning Tian, Patriarch, you have finally awakened. We're all so worried about you. And the second elder says, yes indeed, a strong person of the immortal emperor realm was killed by the Patriarch with a single move. Patriarch, you are truly amazing. And Luo Wuqing has taken out some treasures, seeing which the Great Elder gets shocked and he says, Empress, aren't these the immortal weapons taken from those 4? The Wind Dragon Spear, a low-grade immortal weapon that emerges like a dragon with immeasurable power. The Black Tortoise Shield, a low-grade immortal weapon, as black as ink and indestructible. The Red Sky Sword, a middle-grade immortal weapon, red like a blazing flame. Then Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian helped immensely with the annihilation of the 4 sections. The heavenly demonic sect doesn't treat its disciples poorly. So please choose one of these 3. And Ning Tian is thinking, all 3, no, with my current strength, I can't control all 3 of these weapons. The Red Sky Sword, a middle-grade immortal weapon, red like a blazing flame. Then Ning Tian grabs the sword and he says, then, I choose the Red Sky. With this deep aura, it's indeed an extraordinary weapon. And Ning Tian starts making a blood contract with the Red Sky using his blood. And the Red Sky immediately recognizes Ning Tian as his master. And Ning Tian is saying, he is worthy of being the Patriarch. The blazing flame aura is so strong. And a lot more starts coming out from inside the sword, seeing which everyone gets very shocked. And those people are saying, what a powerful reaction. Who would have guessed that the Patriarch's sword intent would be so great? But Ning Tian feels something strange and says, weird, the aura suddenly weakened? It became like an ordinary spiritual weapon's aura. Then Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, Red Sky has that specific trait. Its grade changes together with its master's strength. And Ning Tian says, so the master's strength is what determines its grade? And Luo Wuqing further says, yes. The stronger you become, the stronger it will become with you. The weaker you are, the weaker it will become. Everything depends on your strength. And Ning Tian says to Luo Wuqing, thank you, dear wife. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, as long as I continue to improve, there is no limit to it. Red Sky will eventually become an immortal weapon stronger than any other immortal weapon. And Luo Wuqing says, Ning Tian, I have something to ask you. That day, your great emperor's strike, where did it come from? I know that it's not possible to summon the emperor's shadow by just relying on your physics. And after listening to Luo Wuqing, Ning Tian is thinking, above the immortal emperor realm, there are even stronger people, and this heavenly spirit domain is simply one of the 3 heavens and 9 realms. Even if I can trust Luo Wuqing right now, the system is involved in this as well. Even if one less person knows about it, that will lessen the danger for me. Then Ning Tian said to Luo Wuqing, I don't wish to lie, but right now. And after listening to Ning Tian, Luo Wuqing says, forget it, since you won't wish to tell me, then don't. Shortly put the treasures you must not hide be exposed. Remember, there's always someone greater and stronger. And Ning Tian becomes happy after listening to Lu Wuqing, and then he says, "Thank you for being so considerate, dear wife. Don't worry, I will tell you if I have the chance in the future. It's just that I don't know when that will be." And then someone says, reporting to the Empress, "Yaoqi's saint is asking for an audience." And Lu Wuqing says, "Please ask her to wait for me in the main hall. I will be there right away." After this the scene shifts and Yaoqi's saint is saying to Lu Wuqing, "Your Majesty the Empress, by order of the Queen Mother of the West, I am here to borrow the heavenly mirror of your sect." And Lu Wuqing says to Yaoqi's saint, "The heavenly mirror is a precious treasure of our heavenly demonic sect. Why does the saint needs to borrow it?" And Yaoqi's saint says, "Forgive me, Empress. This involves a secret of our Yaoqi's holy land, so I can't tell you. However, by the Queen Mother's order, if your sect is willing to lend us the mirror, we are willing to provide you with a Yaoqi immortal elixir." And Lu Wuqing gets a little surprised after listening to Yaoqi's saint's words, and she says, "A Yaoqi immortal elixir? That's unexpected. Yaoqi's holy land is even willing to take out their elixir in order to borrow the heavenly mirror. In the holy land of Yaoqi, there is a unique immortal dew lotus. It takes 10 years for one flower be formed, and it's full of spiritual energy. It can even allow someone at the peak of the immortal emperor realm to step into the demigod realm, and that's why it's called the Yaoqi immortal elixir." Then Yaoqi's saint says, "I wonder if the Empress willing? If you can get it elixir and successfully break through, you will have a better chance of winning against the Righteous Alliance's siege." And Lu Wuqing says, "I can lend you the mirror, but you have to agree on one condition." And Yaoqi's saint is asking, "What is it?" But we are not told what Lu Wuqing said to Yaoqi's saint. After this the scene shifts. And Lu Wuqing has come to Ning Tian, and Ning Tian says to Lu Wuqing, "You want me to take the mirror to Yaoqi's holy land? And the elixir can increase the probability of my breakthrough?" And Lu Wuqing says, "No matter how slim the chance is, it's worth the try. In addition, I know you've been working very hard to improve. I won't miss this chance to aid you. There's a sacred place in Yaoqi where you can improve your physique. When you take the mirror to them, mention this to the Queen Mother of the West, and she will approve." And Ning Tian is thinking, "Right, if it hadn't been for Luo Wujing, I might have died in someone else's hands already, even if not in the hands of that old man's soul destroyer. Only by improving my physique will I not exhaust myself in the future when using advanced techniques." And Ning Tian says to Lu Wuqing, "Thank you for your consideration. By the way, dear wife, it's said that all of Yaoqi's disciples are women. Aren't you afraid?" Then Lu Wuqing says, "No, if you do something bad, you will pay for it." And Ning Tian says, "So, you are not afraid of becoming a widow?" But Lu Wuqing says, "Of course not. Are you planning on going to the cliff to continue to cultivate? Or will you go to bed?" And as soon as Ning Tian hears Lu Wuqing's lovely words, he becomes very happy. And he quickly makes Lu Wuqing lie down on the bed. And tells him, "Of course, I'll go to bed." And Ning Tian is about to kiss Lu Wuqing. But Lu Wuqing asks Ning Tian to stop. Then she says, "You are not allowed to do that to me. I'm not ready." Then Ning Tian agrees to it. And Ning Tian hugs Lu Wuqing. And Lu Wuqing says, "But I can still sleep in your arms." Then, this part begins. And we see, heavenly demonic place. And many people gather at this place, who are talking about Ning Tian. The patriarch didn't go to the cliff last night, so he must have been cultivating somewhere else instead. Such a hard-working patriarch, he's truly worthy of being a role model for our entire generation. Then Ning Tian says, "No matter where, I always need to work harder." And Luo Wuqing says to the Great Elder, "Please take out the heavenly mirror." So the Great Elder takes out the heavenly mirror from the storage bag, and Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, "This is the treasure of our heavenly demonic sect, the heavenly mirror. Nothing can be hidden from this mirror. Give me your hand." And Ning Tian moves his hand, and Luo Wuqing further tells Ning Tian, "I will carve a formation onto your palm that can be used to control the mirror. The heavenly mirror has the power of the Emperor, others cannot snatch it away from you. So rest assured." And Ning Tian understands Luo Wuqing's words. Besides, he is also very happy. And Luo Wuching says to the saintess, then, you can go to Yaoqi with the saints. Then the saintess calls her heavenly Pegasus. Then she says to Ning Tian, Patriarch Ning Tian, please. But Ning Tian is imagining something different, and he is thinking, isn't this place a bit too cramped? Then Ning Tian says to the saintess, I thank the saintess for her kindness, but I can't go inside your heavenly carriage. And as soon as the saintess hears this, she gets a little surprised and is thinking, many young heroes have wanted to ride the Pegasus with me. And the president, but he declined? And then Luo Wuching starts calling spirit feather sparrows, and within some time a bright light starts glowing at that place. And a very big sparrow comes there. And Luo Wuching tells Ning Tian, this is the spirit feather sparrow, a level 6 monster. It's equivalent to a cultivator of the Sky King realm. It will take you to Yaoqi. Then the Ning Tian goes near the big sparrow and starts caressing it. At the same time he is saying, a level 6 monster is equivalent to a cultivator of the Sky King realm. Then Ning Tian sits on the sparrow and he says to Luo Wuching, dear wife, we'll come back as soon as I can. And Luo Wuching says to Ning Tian, stay safe. Then Ning Tian says to the sparrow, spirit feature sparrow, let's go to the Yaoqi Holy Land. Then both of them start leaving this place. And Ning Tian is very happy sitting on the sparrow, and he is saying, this is the first time I have left the sect after coming to this world. I heard that there are 3 heavens and 9 realms. The heavenly spirit domain is located in the second heaven, and it has been divided into 2, righteous and demonic Tao. The Yaoqi Holy Land has always maintained neutrality, and the 2 sides never bothered them. If there's truly a place to improve one's physique in the Holy Land, I'm definitely not the only one who wants to go there. I wonder what kind of trouble I'll encounter when we arrive. And the saintess looks at Ning Tian and thinks, Patriarch Ning Tian, the heavenly spirit domain is vast, and the Yaoqi Holy Land is far in the west. So this trip will take about 1 day and 1 night. And Ning Tian is saying to the saintess, thank you for letting me know, saintess. And Ning Tian takes out the treasure given by Luo Wuching and is thinking, since there's so much time left, I can't waste it. I'll cultivate instead. And the saintess feels something and says, why is there such a rich aura at such a high altitude? Ning Tian? Is he really only in the spiritual realm? Why can he produce such a heavy aura? And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system tells Ning Tian, you shocked the saintess of Yaoqi, you have been rewarded with the joyful Tao of 3,000. And Ning Tian is thinking, feel free to get shocked by me, it doesn't bother me. I just have to continue my cultivation, and the journey of both of them continues like this. And now it's night time. And even now Ning Tian is doing cultivation. But then the system tells Ning Tian, the host has broken through. Congratulations to the host for breaking through and reaching the 3-star spiritual realm. Congratulations to the host for breaking through again and reaching the 4-star spiritual realm. Then Ning Tian is saying, after accumulating aura for several days, I've finally broken through 2 minor realms at once. After this the scene shifts and we see Yaoqi Holy Land, and there are some people at this place. And 4 girls in the front, and one of them a woman says, on the order of the Queen Mother of the West, Yao Ke is here to lead our guests to the immortal spirit spring for body tempering. And a man says, thank you, Miss Yao Ke. But then strong winds start blowing at that place, seeing which the man gets surprised, and he says, what's this sudden gust of wind? Then we see that the saintess and Ning Tian are coming to this place. And both of them come to the ground. Then the saintess says to Ning Tian, Patriarch Ning Tian, we have arrived at the Yaoqi Holy Land. And Ning Tian sees this place and says, it's indeed beautiful, it's not an exaggeration to call it a wonderland. But as soon as she sees the female Ning Tian, she asks the saintess, this person is. Then the saintess tells them, this is the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect, Ning Tian. And as soon as all those females see Ning Tian, they become very happy. And she is saying, is this the famous legendary patriarch? I didn't expect the patriarch to be so young and handsome. Yes, the patriarch is really handsome. I feel like I can't take a breath. And then the saintess tells Ning Tian, I didn't expect the patriarch to have such charm. And Ning Tian says to the saintess, ahem, of course. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, it's definitely not because of my charming physics. Then we see the man who is getting very angry, and he is thinking, damn it. The way Yao Ke looked at me just now was special, but she is praising another man for being young and handsome the next second. Unexpectedly, the patriarch who stole the spotlight at the Empress wedding is actually only in the spiritual realm. The Empress must have found her husband too weak, so she sent him here to take a dip in the spring and avoid embarrassment in the future. Then the boy comes forward, and says to Ning Tian, as we have met at this Yaoqi holy land, this holy son humbly greets the patriarch. The patriarch's words broke through the heart of the original holy son of our heavenly vault holy land. There's an uproar in the heavenly spirit domain. At the same time he's thinking, ha, I'm not trash like the previous holy son. As long as you admit this, I will definitely test you. But Ning Tian tells him, I don't remember this. There were so many holy sons that day. And the man gets surprised after listening to Ning Tian, and then he says, you don't remember? And that man is thinking, you are the reason why we lost all face, and you were able to forget about it. To not even recall our heavenly vault holy land, it's so disrespectful to us. Then the saintess says to Ning Tian, Patriarch Ning Tian, please come with me. I'll take you to see the Queen Mother of the West. And Ning Tian says to the saintess, thank you, saintess. And Ning Tian is thinking, I wonder what kind of a person the Queen Mother of the West is. Then the saintess is taking the Ning Tian inside, and telling him, Patriarch, this is our Yaoqi palace. And when Ning Tian sees the scene inside, he is very surprised. And he is thinking, unexpectedly, there is such a scene in this place. Then we see the Queen Mother of the West. And the Queen looks at Ning Tian and says, I wonder what the legendary patriarch thinks of my Yaoqi palace? And as soon as Ning Tian looks at the Queen, he is thinking, being able to break through the void like this, she seems to be an immortal emperor. And Ning Tian greets the Queen, and he says, I greet the Queen Mother of the West. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, I thought she would be an old lady. I didn't expect her to be so young. And the Queen says to Ning Tian, at first, I thought the Empress was crazy, but it seems that her husband is quite nice. And hearing this, Ning Tian starts blushing. And he's thinking, damn it, what's going on? Why is my heart racing? I shouldn't be that excited. Then the system says to Ning Tian, host, the Queen Mother of the West has an extremely charming fox physique, which is the natural enemy of the godly physique. Only by using the godly physique can you resist the power of the charming physique. And Ning Tian is thinking, resist the power of the charming physique with my godly physique. I have to relax. And the Queen is thinking, even a strong cultivator of the celestial realm might not be able to resist my extremely charming physique. He is only in the spiritual realm, but he's actually able to resist it. Then Ning Tian says to the Queen, is such an attitude from the Queen Mother of the West acceptable? I am here representing my sect. And Ning Tian is thinking in his mind, I'm still Luo Wujing's husband. Then the Queen laughingly says to Ning Tian, I'm just joking, Patriarch. Please forgive me. I was being careless. And Ning Tian says, let's get back to business. I wonder what the Queen Mother of the West wants our heavenly mirror for. And the Queen starts moving forward, and says to Ning Tian, please follow me, Patriarch. Then the Queen brings Ning Tian to another place. And a female in front is saying, what should we do? We can't delay it any longer. That thing in the spring definitely can't be kept under control. The Queen Mother of the West has sent someone to borrow the heavenly mirror, but we don't know when it will be brought back. And the Queen says to those females, everyone, this is Patriarch Ning Tian of the heavenly demonic sect, he is here escorting the heavenly mirror. And Ning Tian asks the Queen, why is the spring so dark and unusual? So the Queen says to Ning Tian, the Patriarch doesn't need to worry. Our disciples accidentally polluted the water source while cultivating. We can't handle it on our own, so we have to borrow your heavenly mirror. Then Ning Tian says to the Queen, even the Queen Mother of the West can't deal with it? And the Queen laughingly says to Ning Tian, although I am a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm, I know nothing about dealing with such things. And after listening to the Queen, Ning Tian is thinking, the Queen Mother of the West and these elders, they must be hiding something from me, whatever, the affairs of other holy lands are not my business. I just need to complete this task, enhance my physique, and get the immortal elixir. Then Ning Tian takes out the mirror. Then he says, so, I just need to use the heavenly mirror in the spring, right? And the queen is looking at that mirror. At the same time she says to Ning Tian, yes. But the heavenly mirror is an immortal weapon. Patriarch is only in the spiritual realm. Will you be able to exert its full power? Then Ning Tian starts moving forward and he is saying, ha, you are underestimating me and my wife. Since my wife carved the formation into my body, that means I'm able to use the heavenly mirror. And then, a female looks at Ning Tian and says, the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect actually has a spiritual sea while in the spiritual realm. And the other female says, not only does he have a spiritual sea, but also 199 thunder tribulation spiritual veins. He is extremely talented, his future is limitless. And then Ning Tian gets a notification by the system, and the system tells Ning Tian, you shocked the Queen Mother of the West and Yaoqi's elders. Buff card earned, powerful physique card. And Ning Tian uses the heavenly mirror, due to which golden-colored light starts entering the black water from the heavenly mirror. And Ning Tian is thinking, the black aura that's gushing out of the spring must be what the Queen Mother of the West is hiding. Is that black aura resisting me? Shine light upon Yaoqi, eradicate all filth. Then we see that now the water has become normal. And Ning Tian recalls the heavenly mirror. But now Ning Tian is very tired, due to which he starts falling down. But the saintess catches Ning Tian, and the queen says to the saintess, Yao 11, the patriarch has exhausted himself. Please help him recuperate. I will come back later to thank the patriarch for his help. Also the queen says to those females, pass my orders, no one is allowed to approach the immortal spring without my permission from now on. Then they leave this place. And after some time, we see Ning Tian, who is sitting in the room and doing cultivation. And he's thinking, no wonder Luo Wuqing refused to give me all 3 immortal weapons at that time. Just activating the heavenly mirror at full power drained my aura completely. Fortunately, my recovery is quicker with God's record. And then the saintess comes to that place, and the saintess says to Ning Tian, Patriarch, haven't you exhausted your aura? To get up now, I'm afraid that. And Ning Tian stands up. And he says to the saintess, no problem, I am almost fully recovered. And the saintess is surprised to see Ning Tian, because Ning Tian has recovered very quickly, and hence the saintess is thinking, I clearly saw him exhausting his entire spiritual sea just now, he was completely dried up. And the system says to Ning Tian, you shocked Yaoqi's saintess aura cultivation plus 300. And then the queen comes inside Ning Tian's room, and the queen says to the saintess, Yao 11, you can't say such casual things to a man. And the saintess looks at the queen and says, I greet the Queen Mother of the West. But then the queen comes close to Ning Tian, and starts touching his cheeks. At the same time she is saying to Ning Tian, boy, your physique looks good. To express my gratitude, would you like to stay in my Yaoqi Holy Land for a few days? You can choose from all of my Yaoqi Holy Land's elixirs, how about this part starts, and Ning Tian is speaking to the queen, ahem, no need for that. Thank you for your kindness, Queen Mother of the West. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, the Yaoqi Holy Land is full of female disciples. If Luo Wuqing finds out about this, I'll definitely get punished for it. Then Ning Tian further says to the Queen Mother of the West, before departure, my wife specially recommended to me the Holy Land that can enhance my physique. She said that you, the Queen Mother of the West, would not refuse this request. And the Queen says so, she wishes to go to the immortal spring. We from the Yaoqi Holy Land always repay the kindness we receive. The preparation of the elixir will take 2 months, we will send it to the heavenly demonic sect when it's done. As for the immortal spring, I won't refuse. I only need the patriarch to answer one question for me, and Ning Tian says, what is it? And the queen starts touching Ning Tian's cheeks, and says to him very lovingly, Luo Wuqing or me, who is prettier? And then Ning Tian says to the queen, is it something I need to consider? The Queen Mother of the West is pretty, but my wife is naturally the best. And as soon as the queen hears this, she directly slaps Ning Tian, and tells him, okay, fine then. You can go to the immortal spring now. And Ning Tian is talking to the queen. Wait, so suddenly? I'm not ready yet. Then Saintess says, Queen Mother of the West, did you just? And the queen says to Saintess, don't worry, he won't get hurt. I just sent Luo Wuqing's darling to the spring through another way, that's all. After this the scene shifts and we see, immortal spring. And two people are moving towards the spring, and the man is saying, I've long heard that the immortal spring water contains an extremely rich aura, which can cleanse the marrow and strengthen the body. And the girl says, yes, that's right. But that's not all, holy son. The aura of the immortal spring is contained in the immortal waterfall. Once it falls into the pool, it changes to ordinary water. So, the disciples of the Yaoqi Holy Land sit under the waterfall to cultivate. Then the man says, the waterfall is coming down from the sky. Falling from such a height, wouldn't the impact make it? And the girl says, yes. If you stay under the waterfall for a long time, your body might be washed away by the spring. And then someone comes out from inside the tree and says, this is the immortal spring, men must not go any further. And seeing that elder, the girl bows her head and says to him, Elder Qinglin, this is the holy son of the heavenly vault Holy Land. He has come here to cultivate in the spring after receiving permission. And that man also bows his head, and says, this presence. It's a celestial realm cultivator. And the elder says, since you have permission, you may continue. And the girl says, thank you, Elder Qinglin. Then both of them are moving forward, and the man is saying, all disciples of the Yaoqi Holy Land are truly remarkable cultivators. Beauties, your brave holy son is coming. Then we see that cute babies are bathing in the waterfall. And they all are enjoying it very much. And as soon as the man sees those friendly babies, his nose starts bleeding. And he is saying this is amazing. And as soon as all the babies see that man, they become very angry. And start shouting, ah! A pervert! Someone help! Pervert! Quickly hit him! And many things are thrown at him. Then the man is saying, Senior sisters, calm down. I'm not peeping at you, I'm just admiring the waterfall. And the girl comes in front of the man, and asks the babies to stop. And she is saying, wait, everyone please stop. The holy son Su Xing has permission from the Queen Mother of the West to come to the immortal spring. Then they are saying, babes, the permission of the Queen Mother of the West? Then I guess. And the other girl says, but why is he so obscene? Humph. He looks like a pretty beta Omicron Upsilon, but he's just a pervert. And that man is thinking, I'm the mighty holy son of the heavenly vault Holy Land, how many times have I even looked at you? But then Ning Tian falls down from the sky. And he's going to fall all over those cute babes. And he is asking to remove those babies. And it falls directly into the water. Then they are saying, babes, who is it this time? Then Ning Tian comes out of the water, and has opened his clothes a little, and is saying, damn it, why does every woman act like this? And as soon as the man sees Ning Tian, he gets surprised. And he is thinking, Ning Tian? Ha! I was allowed to come here only after getting permission from the Queen Mother of the West. And the man says to Ning Tian, the majestic and legendary patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect did not hesitate to descend from the sky to spy on the female disciples of the Yaoqi Holy Land. At the same time he is thinking, the heavenly demonic sect will now become a laughingstock of the entire heavenly spirit domain. And as soon as all the babies see Ning Tian, they become very happy. And they are all saying, so handsome, this is the legendary patriarch? And all the babies surround Ning Tian. And all of them are talking to Ning Tian, patriarch. Did you come to bathe in the spring too? Patriarch, let me rub your back. Patriarch Ning Tian is enjoying it very much. And he is also very happy. But then we see that someone attacks Ning Tian. And he says, the one who trespassed into the spring, die. But then someone saves Ning Tian from the attack of that elder, and says to that elder, Elder Qinglin, stop. And the one who saves Ning Tian is Saintess, and she comes forward, and says to the elder, this is the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect, he was permitted to enter the spring. And the elder stops and she says, he's the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect? I didn't know it was the patriarch who had arrived, Qinglin has offended you. I ask for your forgiveness. And Ning Tian starts coming out of the water and he says, it's fine, nothing happened. And that man is thinking, what is this? I am also the new Holy Son, I'm going to lead the heavenly vault Holy Land in the future. And my treatment is worse than someone who was born as a handyman. Then the elder says, since both of you have come to the immortal spring to cultivate, please proceed. And babies are thinking, I wonder if the patriarch can break the record of our Yaoqi waterfall. I think the last person to break the record was the saintess, she lasted 1.5 hours. With such handsome looks, he can definitely do it. And that man is thinking, patriarch this, patriarch that, what's the use of these lovely words? To be both handsome and strong is the most vital thing. Then the man says, since we've both come here to cultivate, how about competing to see who lasts longer? At the same time he is thinking, with cultivation in the spiritual realm, whether you accept or not, you are destined to lose to this holy sun. But Saintess is speaking, the power of the immortal spring is extreme. This kind of competition is not needed, but Ning Tian says to the man, fine, let's compete. Then the man sits under the waterfall and is thinking, ha, you group of women with no insight, I'll show you what a true man looks like. 30 minutes later, we see that all the man's clothes are torn, and blood starts coming out of his mouth. And seeing this all the babies close their eyes, and Ning Tian is speaking, his clothes exploded, he failed. Then the man is covering his private parts and saying, why did it end up like this? But Ning Tian is smiling too much, and so the man says to Ning Tian, stop smiling, spiritual realm, you won't last longer than me. This part starts, and Ning Tian is going near the waterfall, and he is saying, it's indeed an immortal spring that is coming from the heavens, both its aura and pressure are overwhelming. God's record activates. Then Ning Tian sits under the waterfall, and starts cultivation. And seeing Ning Tian doing cultivation, the man is thinking, brat, I will witness your failure with my own eyes. In the beginning, the water of the spring feels like pebbles falling on your body. There was no pain or discomfort. But as time passes by, it unexpectedly falls down on you like a whole mountain, and after some time, Ning Tian's entire clothes get torn. And seeing this the man becomes very happy, and he says, look, I knew he wouldn't last long. He will fail, he will fail. And as soon as the girls see, Ning Tian's entire clothes are torn. And when her entire body is visible, they all become very happy. And a girl is saying, the patriarch is so amazing, he actually lasted for half an hour already. And the other girl says, look, the patriarch has 8-pack abs. Then the third girl says, yes, it's so sexy, I want to touch them. And the man gets very shocked after listening to those girls, and he says, ha! You have such double standards. Then a girl looks at the man and says, what are you angry about? Are you that weak? And the other girl says, yes, that looks like he's really not that great. Then we see that a golden-colored dragon comes out from inside Ning Tian, and is trying to reduce the water pressure, so that Ning Tian is able to do cultivation comfortably. And then he feels something, and he's thinking, there seems to be a Tao tone connected to its aura. Is it the Tao of music? Yes, since there are 3,000 paths of Tao, there are also 3,000 spiritual veins. If I open up spiritual veins for each path, won't I be invincible? And as soon as Saintess sees this, she becomes very shocked, and she says, the music dragon's spiritual vein? The immortal waterfall is too much for ordinary people to resist. But he is actually opening up new spiritual veins? And when the man sees this, he gets very shocked. And blood starts coming out of his mouth. At the same time he is saying, what did you say? Opening up new spiritual veins? Then he becomes unconscious. And the female is speaking, Holy Son, why did you pass out so suddenly? Wake up. And the girls are saying, is it because of his anger again? He will be fine after drinking a tonic. And then Ning Tian's wine starts changing, and Ning Tian is thinking, the aura in this waterfall is so abundant, but why did the spiritual veins break all of a sudden? And then the system tells Ning Tian, host, your spiritual sea has not absorbed the essence of the Tao of music, so the formed spiritual veins that we opened are weak. The host can play music on his own to cooperate with the aura and music of the spring to open up the spiritual veins of music. And Ning Tian gets very surprised to hear this, and he says, "Play music? The system just gives me the mastery of the Tao of music. This is really a blessing from God." Then Ning Tian said to Saintess, "Saintess, can you lend me your guqin?" And the Saintess says to Ning Tian, "Ah? Yes, sure." At the same time Saintess is thinking, why would he need a guqin when tempering his physique? And Ning Tian starts playing music, and then the system says to Ning Tian, 3,000 paths, the Tao of music is being activated. And Ning Tian starts playing music, and after listening to Ning Tian play, the girls are saying, "What a gentle and deep tone." Don't expect the patriarch's proficiency in the Tao of music to be so advanced. And the music that Ning Tian is playing can be heard from a long distance. And then an elder listens to Ning Tian's music and says, "That sound of the guqin, it must be Yao 11 playing," and the queen is thinking. However, Yao Shi's understanding of the Tao of music is far less profound than this. Then the queen says to all her elders, "Everyone, follow me to the immortal spring." And Ning Tian is thinking while playing music, although the spiritual veins of the Tao of music that have been opened up are now much stronger than before, it still feels like something is missing. And then Queen reaches Ning Tian, and she says to Ning Tian, "Interesting, so you are tempering your physique and opening up your spiritual veins while playing the guqin at the same time." And as soon as all the girls see the queen, they are very surprised, and they are all saying, "Queen Mother of the West?" Then the queen is speaking to Ning Tian, "Patriarch, do you want your senior sister's help?" And the queen gets very close to Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is saying to queen, "Strengthening and tempering my physique is my own matter. I wouldn't bother the Queen Mother of the West with it." And queen says to Ning Tian, "Don't refuse me so quickly. Don't you feel like the spiritual veins of the Tao of music that you have opened up can't reach their ultimate form?" Then the queen starts playing music for Ning Tian, and she is saying, "I will tell you now, there's something missing," and because of the queen's music playing, many beautiful elders come around Ning Tian, and Ning Tian is saying, "What's happening? The spiritual veins in me feel like they are boiling," and now Ning Tian's power starts increasing very fast. And a lot of energy starts going inside Ning Tian, and seeing this the queen is thinking, "I originally wanted to help him improve a tiny bit, but I didn't expect he would actually succeed." After some time, Ning Tian said, "Good, a total of 20 spiritual veins have been condensed." And the system is speaking to Ning Tian, "You have shocked the Queen Mother of the West. Skill card earned, fast as lightning, you can carry out 3 long-distance shifts." Then Ning Tian says to the queen, "Thank you, Queen Mother of the West." And the queen says to Ning Tian, "Only by cooperating with each other can we reach greater heights. The gentle sound of the guqin and the desolate sound of the flute simply complete each other, just like us, don't you think?" And Ning Tian says to the queen, "Queen Mother of the West, please control yourself. I have a wife." So the queen says to Ning Tian, "Ha, so boring, you are no fun." Then the queen starts leaving this place. And Ning Tian is a thinking system, using the powerful physique card. And the system tells Ning Tian, "A powerful physics card has been used." 2.5 hours later. Then we see that the girls are talking about Ning Tian. Condensing spiritual veins consumes a lot of aura, but the patriarch shows no signs of being done. It's been so long, isn't he tired already? He's indeed a true man. I wonder if the patriarch has ever been able to persist for so long before. And the system tells Ning Tian, the powerful physique card is preparing to replace the aura in the host's spiritual sea. "Host, please get ready." And hearing this, Ning Tian gets a little surprised and says, "Huh? Replace the spiritual sea's aura?" But then Ning Tian feels something, and he says, "Wait, without aura, I can only rely on physical strength to resist the waterfall's overwhelming power." And we see that blood starts coming out of Ning Tian's mouth. And he starts feeling a lot of pain. And this story ends here. If you want to see its next part, please subscribe to my channel, so that I can upload its second part soon. So see you in another video. Till then, bye.